A journey that began back in October comes to a close in Greenville. Game 72 of the regular season and the final day of the regular season at Bon Secours Wellness Arena sees one of the best rivalries in the ECHL put to the test one last time as the Greenville Swamp Rabbits host the Atlanta Gladiators. Good afternoon, everyone. Guy Chiarenza with you here from upstate South Carolina. And for the Gladiators and Swamp Rabbits, it is the 14th and final edition of the I-85 rivalry this season. It's had its ups and downs. It's had its fun. And there is no better way to close out the 2025-26 regular season than another battle between the Gladiators and the Swamp Rabbits. For the Gladiators, their season does not end here. They have punched their ticket to the Kelly Cup playoffs. They will see the South Carolina Stingrays for Game 1 of Round 1 on Friday at North Charleston Coliseum. For the Swamp Rabbits, this is the final day of their season as they have been eliminated from postseason contention. The Gladiators can finish no higher than third and no lower than third. They are locked into that third seed with South Carolina's win over Orlando last night. The Gladiators finish in the third seed in the division, and now it's only a matter of will they end the regular season with a win or a loss. Gladiators hold a record of 43-23, 4-1 on the campaign, 91 points. Losers in their last game on Sunday against Savannah 1 week ago. Gladiators have been resting this week, getting ready for one last surge here in Greenville before they kick off the postseason with Game 1 in South Carolina on Friday night. For the Swamp Rabbits, they hold a record of 27-34, 7-3, 64 points on the season, coming off of a shootout loss to Jacksonville in this building last night. Greenville sits in sixth place in the division, and they can finish last if they lose to the Gladiators here today, and Orlando beats Jacksonville later on in the final game of the season later on tonight. It is the 14th out of 14 meetings this season between these two teams. The Gladiators have not seen an opponent more than they've seen Greenville. Gladiators have handled the Swamp Rabbits well this season with a record of 9-4 against Greenville, but the last two meetings have gone to the Swamp Rabbits as they really stunned the Gladiators in the last two meetings. As first, it was a shutout in this building on April 2nd for Isaiah Seville. 4-0 loss for the Gladiators was followed up with a 3-2 overtime loss, or it was a regulation loss, 3-2 loss to Greenville at Gas South Arena on April 3rd, and that was the most recent meeting between these two teams. Gladiators will look to make it a win in the column to end the regular season and gain some momentum heading into Game 1 on Friday against Jacksonville. For Joey Cipollone, he was on the stat sheet for the Gladiators with their first goal in Savannah on Sunday, tying the game at the beginning of the second period in what was a 1-1 game there. Looked like the Gladiators might go on that second period surge, but alas, they did not, and Savannah ended up winning that game 4-2. But Cody Sylvester did have a big day, a goal and an assist for his 12th multi-point game of the season. And Eric Neely factored in with an assist on Cipollone's goal. Now has 2 goals and 2 assists in his first 4 games as a Gladiator this season. And in his return, he has been phenomenal. Eric Neely was not sitting on the shelf by any means. Had a great campaign in the FPHL with the Athens Rock Lobsters. Really backed it up here with the Gladiators to start. And if you want to get technical about it, Eric Neely is on a 5-game point streak. Had an assist in his final game last season on April 12th at Florida. And what is technically a 5-game point streak consisting of 2 goals and 3 assists for Eric Neely. We'll see how he fares here today as the Gladiators, again, look to gain some momentum heading into the postseason. TJ Semptenfelter was the goalie on Sunday. He stopped 16 of 20 in the 4-2 loss. Today, it'll be Ethan Hyder for the Gladiators, who is on milestone watch. For these Gladiators, they have accumulated a lot of milestones individually and as a team as what has been a sensational season for all. In the Gladiators' neck of the woods, Ethan Hyder here today has a chance to move into 3rd place all-time in the single-season record book for the Gladiators. He's sitting on 23 wins this year. If he gets win number 24, he will move into 3rd place for the most wins by a Gladiators goaltender in a single season. So we'll see if Ethan Hyder and these Gladiators can etch a W in the win column to cap off the 2025-26 regular season. Gladiators will also look to turn the tide in terms of special teams as they went 0 for 4 on the power play, but did go 2 for 2 on the penalty kill last Sunday against Savannah. For the Gladiators, it feels like special teams might be a factor for them in a series against the South Carolina Stingrays, in which South Carolina was the league's most penalized team in the regular season this year. Gladiators will look to get some momentum on their special teams as well here today in Greenville. For the Swamp Rabbits, they lost to Jacksonville 4-3 in a shootout last afternoon. Jack Brackett had 2 goals for a second multi-goal game of the season for Greenville. Neil Shea had a goal. He has 2 goals and 1 assist in his last 2. And Patrick Polino had 2 assists for a 6th multi-point game of the season. But the Swamp Rabbits did fall in a 3-round shootout, as rookie goaltender Simon Lakutsky stopped 24 of 27 and went 2 for 3 in the shootout in the loss to the Icemen. Greenville's power play has been woeful this season for them as well. 0 for 1 last night against Jacksonville. Their penalty kill was put to the test, going 5 for 7 against the Icemen. Gladiators will look to once again make it one more win against Greenville here today in a building that they have fared well in this season, against a team that they've fared well against this season. It is the I-85 rivalry for the 14th and final time this season, and it never seems to disappoint. We'll break it down a little bit more on the other side of the break, as the Gladiators will welcome 2 newcomers to the lineup here today as they get ready for their postseason surge. All that coming up on the other side of the break, as it's the Gladiators and the Swamp Rabbits from Bon Secours Wellness Arena.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the ECHL, celebrating its 38th season of affordable family entertainment. The ECHL would like to thank everyone in attendance for your support of ECHL hockey. The ECHL would also like to recognize the following league sponsors: AMI Graphics, exclusive signage provider; Athletic Knit, official jersey supplier; Baron Rings, official championship ring supplier; BFL Canada Insurance and Sutton Special Risk, sponsors of the 2026 ECHL Hall of Fame induction ceremony; Dash, official mobile auction platform; The Fairley Group, official commercial insurance provider; Flow Sports, exclusive streaming provider; Hotel Planner, official hotel reservations partner; Howie's Hockey Tape, exclusive hockey tape and lace provider; In Glasgow, exclusive puck provider; Prolific One, exclusive secondary ticketing partner; and Warrior, exclusive on-ice equipment provider and title sponsor of the 2026 ECHL All-Star Classic. Catch all of the ECHL action live in high definition by logging on to flowhockey.tv.
We are grooving in Greenville, getting set for game number 72 of 72 this season. Final day of the regular season, and what a season it has been for these Atlanta Gladiators. They are going back to the postseason for the first time since 2022, looking to win their first playoff game since 2013, and they're facing a familiar opponent in the South Carolina Stingrays, who will meet for the 5th time all-time in the postseason, coming up this Friday at North Charleston Coliseum. Games 1 and 2 from North Charleston, Friday and Saturday nights, and then the tides will turn to Duluth as there will be playoff hockey at Gas South Arena for the first time in 8 years. So get your tickets for Game 3 and Game 4. Click the link in our YouTube live chat right now to get your tickets and join us for playoff hockey at Gas South Arena when the Atlanta Gladiators meet the South Carolina Stingrays. But before we can get to that, we do have one last game here in Greenville. And for those of you who are wondering, the season going a little bit later than usual, well, that is because this is one of those makeup games from December 26th during the ECHL Players' Strike. And it ends up being the final game of the regular season. So by all accounts, the Gladiator season was supposed to end last Sunday in Savannah, but they get one more try to make it a win in the column before they make their way back to the postseason. And for the Gladiators, really feels like this is a good chance to build some momentum heading into the postseason. The Gladiators in their last 10 games, 4-4-2. And you think about where this team is at right now, they certainly have the pieces to go on a run, but I think it is a good opportunity for the Gladiators here today, especially going up against a very familiar opponent in Greenville, to really kind of turn the tide on some things that have been biting them as of late. And I'm going to look for this first period for the Gladiators here today to be one of those moments to see if they have rounded a corner. First periods for the Gladiators in terms of scoring has been a problem for them as of late. We'll see if they can get off to a good start here today, score first, hold that lead like we've seen them do so many times this season, and find a way to win as they look to make their way into the postseason with a W in the column. Let's get to the keys to the game, presented by Beaver, Toyota, and Mazda with their head coach, Matt Ginn. Key number one is communication, and this has been something that has bit the Gladiators in the backside over the last couple of weeks. We'll see if they can turn it around here. You do have a couple of new guys coming into the lineup here today. That might have an impact in terms of communication and chemistry. You also got some guys who are playing in their 5th game with the team this season. For the Gladiators, they'll look to make that communication a point of emphasis here today and execute on it as they look for one last win in Greenville. Second key is to win the net fronts, and for the Gladiators, they certainly have the personnel to do this. And I'm looking at a guy like Brett Bulmer, standing 6'4", 212. We saw him standing in front of the net over the last couple of games, really making life difficult for the opposing netminder. For Greenville, it'll be Isaiah Seville here today, who has certainly fared well against the Gladiators in the season series. We'll see if Brett Bulmer proves to be a factor in the net front as well as others as the Gladiators look to win here today. And finally, the third key of the game from head coach Matt Ginn is to just manage the puck, and that is something that had been a problem in the last 2 losses against Greenville. Gladiators, costly turnovers, ended up costing them those 2 games. We'll see if they're a little bit smarter with the puck here today in Greenville. And so those are your keys to the game with head coach Matt Ginn, presented by Beaver, Toyota, and Mazda. And as I did mention, some of those newcomers into the lineup, let's get to talking about them as we get to our starting lineups here today in Greenville. We will start with the Gladiators, as we'll talk about those 2 new guys first. One of them isn't necessarily all that new. We have seen him before, but it's been a while. Austin Roost, who will be wearing number 86 now, as the Gladiators got some help from Milwaukee yesterday, as Josh Davies and Austin Roost were reassigned from Milwaukee to Atlanta. And as a byproduct of that, Zach Yoder, Ethan Scardina, and Ryan Francis were all released. So 86 now available. That belongs to Austin Roost, as the number 14 that he'd been wearing before now belongs to Brett Bulmer. So if you connect the dots there is a reason to the madness, and Austin Roost now wears number 86. But Roost, in his short time with the Gladiators back in late February and early March, certainly made a statement. The rookie from Coldstream, British Columbia, 2 goals, 3 assists, 5 points in his first 4 games as a Gladiator. Back in the lineup here today, he'll be on the 3rd line with Mike McNamee and Isaac Walter. We'll see what he can do, but it seems like he's an X factor when he's got the puck on his stick. We'll watch for Austin Roost here today, who has also had a good campaign with Milwaukee as well in his rookie season, as he does have 1 goal and 6 assists in 41 games with the Admirals. It's tough to go from in your rookie campaign. Tough to go from junior hockey all the way to the AHL. Roost, a former draft pick of the Nashville Predators back in 2023, has certainly had a decent rookie campaign at the AHL level, and certainly a good one here at the ECHL level. Other news, Josh Davies comes from Milwaukee to Atlanta, and this is a guy that has some ECHL experience under his belt. That name sounds familiar. It's because he is formerly of the Savannah Ghost Pirates and actually spent some time with Savannah earlier this year. Davies, 8 goals, 4 assists, 12 points in 31 games with Savannah, ends up going to Milwaukee, signing with the Admirals, and with Milwaukee this season, 1 goal in 15 games. He, along with Roost, was assigned to the Gladiators yesterday, and we'll see him in the lineup on the 2nd line with Jack O'Brien and Adam Isley. And so Josh Davies reunited with his former WHL teammate O'Brien back in their Portland Winterhawks days, would both logged a career year in their final year of junior hockey. Looks like head coach Matt Ginn likes to reunite those 2 here today, and we'll see if they can get back to their scoring ways from 2 years ago. But Davies certainly a scoring threat, 5'10", 200 pounds, native of Calgary, Alberta, playing in his 2nd full season of professional hockey. And we'll see him on the line with O'Brien and Isley. And with that, let's get to the starters for the Gladiators here today, as they will send out that 2nd line to begin. Josh Davies wearing number 12 at left wing. As I mentioned before, 8 goals, 4 assists, 12 points in 31 games. His starting center is number 19, Jack O'Brien, standing at 6'1", 184. Native of Denver, Colorado, started the year with the Iowa Heartlanders, was acquired by the Gladiators in a trade in late December, and boy, has that paid dividends. 28 goals, 23 assists, 51 points in 61 games, and what has been a career year for Jack O'Brien, the second-year pro. O'Brien with the Gladiators this season, 17 goals, 12 assists, 29 points in 36 games. Stellar acquisition. He gets the start at the center position. At right wing, it'll be number 21, Adam Isley, standing at 6'2", 208, Lake Elmo, Minnesota native. First-year pro out of Ohio State University, has 3 goals in 9 games to begin his professional career. Isley was a standout forward with the Buckeyes this year. 13 goals, 7 assists, 20 points in 36 games this season in college. At left defense, it'll be number 6, Andrew Jarvis, returning to the lineup for the Gladiators today. 5'9", 181, native of Morrisburg, Ontario, has 6 assists in 56 games. You never know. Could be the day for Jarvis to get his first goal of the season. Comes back into the lineup after missing the last 10 games. He'll start on a pairing with number 15, Evan Orr, standing at 5'11", 185, native of Shelby Township, Michigan. Still looking for his first point this season. 13 games on the season with the Gladiators, first-year pro out of Stonehill College. And getting the start for the Gladiators in net today is number 31, Ethan Hyder, standing at 6'4", 190, native of Maple Grove, Minnesota. Looking for his 24th win of the season, 38th game on the year for Hyder here today. 23-11-2 is the record. 2.47 goals against average, .921 save percentage, and 1 shutout. Hyder has been phenomenal for the Gladiators this year. The backup is number 35, TJ Septemfelter. Your non-dressers, number 74, Dylan Carabia. Number 7, Mickey Burns. Number 23, Riley Appelt. Number 39, Chad Nychuk, all on injured reserve. And your scratches today, number 20, Kirk O'Leary. Number 24, Ryan Nolan. And number 30, Colby Muse. Gladiators are led by head coach and director of hockey operations Matt Ginn, assistant coaches Zach Fennell, equipment managers Ben Ellis, athletic trainers Nick Nelson. I'm Guy Chiarenza, and we are set for the national anthem here in Greenville. Gladiators and the Swamp Rabbits, it never disappoints, coming up after the anthem. Game 72, the final game of the regular season, coming up From Bon Secours Wellness Arena, Guy Chiarenza with you here on the Gladiators Broadcast Network as we get set for the final edition of the I-85 rivalry this year. Gladiators are 9-4 against the Swamp Rabbits. This is the 14th and final meeting this season. And for those of you thinking, well, this is a meaningless game for the Gladiators and the Swamp Rabbits. Both teams have nothing left to play for except for the game on the schedule, which is a makeup game from late December. You are going to be very mistaken. These two teams do not like each other, and while both would like to get out of the building without any injuries, it will be a spirited affair, and we'll get to see two Gladiators in the lineup, one who we've not seen since early March in Austin Roost, and the other, Josh Davies, who makes his Gladiators debut here today. Starting netminders for both sides, Ethan Hyder for the Gladiators, Isaiah Seville for the Swamp Rabbits, as Jack O'Brien is set get ready for the opening draw at center circle. Going up against Dennis Smirnov of Greenville. For the Swamp Rabbits, their second line gets the start. Percival, Smirnov, and Murphy. At defense, it is Murray and Michael Mastrodomenico getting the start for Greenville as their starting five. Puck available at center. Gladiators dispose of it into the near corner behind the net. It'll be picked up by Mastrodomenico. Looking to get it out, and he will. It'll skip onto the stick of Percival. He'll feed it right wing for Murphy. Shot goes wide of Hyder. He takes a bit of a slam from Jarvis in his first shift back. Sets up a pass inside for Percival. His shot scorches wide. Mastrodomenico centers again for another drive by Percival. That goes wide of Hyder again. Gladiators are able to take it out to center. O'Brien on the run, gains the red line, and just pitches it into the near corner as the Gladiators are in the midst of their first change of the day. Mastrodonato up the ice, carries down the right wing and slaps it down to the trapezoid. Hyder loses an edge. Thankfully for him, Brendan Less was in the area to pitch the puck out of danger. Gladiators shuttle the puck to center. Walter one-on-one, tries to toe drag and shoot away from DeYoung. Ends up flubbing wide to the end wall. The rebound's picked up by Roost. Ring number 86 in his Gladiators return. Gets pinned up in the far corner. Looks to center. McNamee is there. Puts it on goal for a glove save by Seville in the opening moments of the game. And that is the first registered shot of the contest. And credit to Austin Roost doing the dirty work in the far corner. Able to find McNamee in tight between the circles. He's able to get a good pop on that puck, trying to ship it by Seville, who shot out the Gladiators the last time that he saw him. Seville this season against Atlanta, a 4-1 record, 1.22 goals against average, .960 save percentage, and of course, the shutout on April 2nd in this building. Swamp Rabbits come out to center. O'Hara from the right wing drops it off for Mastrodonato, the former Grizzly. He'll wheel it to the trapezoid. We're getting a stick on it is Cam Gaudette, the rookie for Atlanta. Gaudette holding firm behind the net. Pops it into the far corner for Cipolo. Looking to outlet to Bulmer. In a foot race, loses the puck to DeYoung, who swoop out to the near wing from behind his own net. Return to Mastrodonato at center, who clanks it ahead for Polino. Off the glass, Jarvis will gather behind the net, tries to float it out, ends up hitting the stick of Brackett, who had 2 goals last night for Greenville, but Atlanta does find a way to wedge out to center and float it all the way down deep to the Greenville trapezoid. From his own end, it is Berg, moving it left wing and out to center, or grabs at the red line, tries to fire it back in and does. Alex Young on the hunt, looks to pick it away from Berg. Greenville defenseman gets it to the line, but not out. Orr is able to hold it in. They'll shuffle the puck into the near corner. Young is there, caught in a turnstile. Puck jumbles behind the net, where it's picked up by Prouty, rookie defenseman for Greenville, and the Swamp Rabbits will clear. Greenville gets a change in as well as Neely directs the puck in. Down the near wall, Prouty's got it, spins it behind the net. They'll outlet down the left wing and up to center. O'Reilly from the left wing chips it to the end wall. Conroy gets a piece of it and is unable to handle the puck. Greenville puts it to the line for a shot that goes wide. Rebound held in by Mastrodomenico at the right point. Sends it behind the net looking for Zeri. Tried to tuck it by Hyder, but he holds firm up against the far post. Is able to snag it and stop the clock with 3:06 gone by in the first. Final day of the regular season for the Gladiators, and they have 3 Ironmen in the lineup playing today. 3 players for the Gladiators who have played in all 72 games. Last year they had 2. One of them has somehow gone back-to-back Ironman this year, and last year, Carson Denemy, Alex Young, and Joey Cipollone, and the Gladiators Ironmen here today, each playing in all 72 games this year. Cody Sylvester game 1 game shy, missing last week's game in Jacksonville. Right wing shot off the stick of Davies, goes over the head of Seville. Momentum carries the puck out to center, where it's grabbed by Brendan Less. Conroy from the left wing returns it to Less. Up to the near side for Isley over the red line. Slingshots Conroy into action. He'll come barreling down the left wing and put it behind the net. Grabbed by Murray, checked hard by Davies. Puck loose on the near side. Mastrodomenico's got it. He'll carry it over the red line, and now Gladiator Blue. Pass to the right wing is intercepted by Isley. Good read by the rookie. Almost loses it between the rings, but is able to punch it out to center. All in all, possession back to Greenville as Tim Lovell backpedals into his own zone, finds DeYoung right wing, takes the return feed out to center circle, and finds an open man on the right wing to direct it in. Tried to go back to Lovell off the stick of Smirnov. Gladiators toss the puck back out to center. Roost on the attack, tries to peel it away from DeYoung. Greenville's able to scurry in on the right side as Wade Murphy makes his way behind the net. Murphy centers, pass broken up by Roost, and he'll take it out to center. Finds Walter left wing to dump the puck in. Walter takes a hard check from DeYoung, and the Gladiators return the favor. Things get chipping to begin. Gladiators would like to escape the building without any more bumps and bruises for Game 1 in South Carolina on Friday. Left wing shot, kick save Hyder. Rebound goes to Roost. Tries to slap it out of the zone, and with help from McNamee they will. He'll make his way to the red line and drop it into Greenville ice. Gladiators are able to get a wholesale change here as we approach 5 minutes gone by. Bulmer on the forecheck almost creates a turnover. Greenville's able to wedge it to the right wing, clank it off the glass and in. Behind the net is Orr, shuttling to the near wall. All tied up is Denemy, working against Ryan O'Hara. Puck leaks free. Greenville's got it. They'll center for a shot. Save Hyder on Mastrodonato. Greenville's most lethal weapon, a point per game in 11 games against the Gladiators in the season series. Orr enters on the right side, pulls up at the half wall, looking for reinforcements. Couldn't find a way to get it to him. O'Hara with the puck again, stretches it up the ice. Hyder comes out to play it from behind the net, seeing that Mastrodonato was going to beat out the icing. Hyder wheels it to the near wing for Conroy. He'll pop it ahead for Denemy. Off the end wall, Murray is able to slap it away. It's handled by Brackett. Will roll out to the left wing. Brackett pulls up, slings it across. Polino over center circle, plunges in left side. Comes to a stop at the top of the circle, drops it for Brackett. He'll cut to the net and center. They try and stuff it in, and Hyder sprawls out like a starfish to keep it out of the net with 13:57 on the clock. Hyder's biggest save of the day ends up stopping Greenville cold. Shot count 4-1 in favor of the Swamp Rabbits, as we'll take a timeout with 13:57 left in the first. This is the Gladiators Broadcast Network, and we're back after this from our local partners.
Kind of feels like everyone's trying to copy the $5 biggie bag. So how can you spot a knockoff? It won't taste like Wendy's. This job is easy. When the deal is as fresh as the meal, gotta be Wendy's.
Gotta be fresh.
Gwinnett Fire and Emergency Services is ready to answer the call, but we'd rather prevent them. Our free home safety survey includes checking smoke alarms, identifying common hazards, and reviewing your family's home escape plan. Schedule yours today.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, and partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
Scoreless to start here in Greenville. Doesn't feel like it's going to take very long to get our first goal of the game. But if Ethan Hyder has anything to say about it, it doesn't look like it's going to come from Greenville. He's had a good start to this game, stopping 4 of 4 to begin. His latest save all sprawled out in the blue paint to deny these Swamp Rabbits the opening goal. For the Gladiators, it does seem like it's very impactful when they do score first. Gladiators hold a record of 31-5-1-1 when scoring first, and conversely, when they don't, they're 12-18-3. So we'll see how they fare here in this first period. Just one shot on goal so far. Face off to the right of Hyder. Young will take it against Polino, and Polino has won it. Sent it to the line. Murray across for a shot. Hyder fights that off. Loose in front, and he stops the rebound as well. Polino was there. Gladiators got it away. The maneuver out to center. And try and enter, but Greenville stuffs him on the entry. 2-on-1 developing. Polino loses it, drops it down low. Centering feed goes away from the intended target, and the Gladiators escape any more danger. Greenville certainly has all the momentum to start. Polino out to the neutral zone, tries to scuttle in right side. Sylvester stuffs him on the entry, tries to send the puck across. Pass picked off by O'Reilly, and Greenville will repossess. Murray deep in his own territory, looks to start the next Greenville breakout. He'll wait behind his own net, but doesn't have long. Adam Isley draped all over him, trying to create a turnover. Good effort by the rookie, but Greenville will dump it in. They'll go around the horn to the left wing. O'Reilly over to the near corner, looking for Milburn. Sends it up top for DeYoung. Puck pinballs off a stick and goes wide. Lovell in the far corner, loses it to Orr. Tries to jab it to Jarvis, but it ends up spinning back to the far wall. Greenville repossesses as Galt gets checked at the end wall. Orr has it. He'll float it to center. Looking for Isley. Finds open ice to send it to O'Brien. Pulls up at the half wall. Drops it deeper to Davies. He'll chip it up and out. Clock will stop with 12:30 left in the first. And so Matt Ginn, Gladiators head coach, reuniting those two former Portland Winterhawks, Josh Davies and Jack O'Brien. Both had a career year in their final year of junior hockey, playing together. Reunited here today. Face off to the left of Seville. Roost will take this draw with Walter to his left, McNamee to his right. The opponent, and is Smirnov. Acquired in a trade from Toledo earlier this year, right around the trade deadline. Roost has won it, plays it to the line, but it ends up splitting the D of Conroy and Les. So Conroy forced to outlet to the left wing, and it's intercepted by Murphy. They'll drop it deeper into the near corner. Gladiators are able to pick it free. Roost along the right wing has it slapped away. Smirnov holds the zone at the left point. Extra pressure from Les. He's able to get it back. Comes in on the right side, centers for Walter. Bumped off the puck by Lovell into the far corner. Roost is there to snag it. Finds McNamee behind the net. He'll spin it up top to Les. Back to McNamee, and around the horn it goes. Loose behind the net. Roost all tied up. And we have a whistle with 11:53 left in the first. And some pushing and shoving after the whistle blew. Walter right in the thick of it. Going at it with Tristan DeYoung. And Tim Lovell in the area as well. Looks like we're going to see our first penalty of the game, as it looks like Lovell is getting an escort to the penalty box. We'll see if they get Walter as well, is seemingly also going in the area. And looks like they will. So it appears to be roughing to both. And we will be skating for a side with 11:53 left in period number one. And so Walter, Lovell, both in the box. And interesting game here today for the Gladiators and the Swamp Rabbits. Really nothing left to play for in terms of standings, seeding, making the playoffs, missing. Both teams know where they're going to finish. But as I mentioned before in the open, no love lost between these two. Certainly going to be feisty, and we saw it there. So 4-on-4 action. Cipollone wins the offensive zone draw. Conroy holds at the line and is trying to barrel out was the rookie Percival. Puck ends up spinning behind the Greenville net, grabbed by Prouty, turning up ice. Greenville will break out. They'll pitch it right wing to Smirnov. Gets checked along the boards by Conroy. Puck is loose. Les has it. Digging at it from his skates is Percival, who ends up losing it to Cipollone. Gladiators do control as Les behind his own net takes a cross check from Smirnov. Gladiators are able to advance out the center as Bulmer enters on the right wing. He'll go and center, looking for Cipolone. Puck pinballs off the stick to the left point where it's held in by Gaudette. Back to Bulmer. Puck floats into open space on the far wall. Handled by Percival. Cipolone gets a stick in there. And all in all, it'll skip to Berg, and Greenville will control. 1 minute left on the 4-on-4. 10:50 left in the first. Greenville enters right down the middle. Berg sweeps it left wing for Brackett. He'll make his way to the end wall where he gets pinned up by Nolan Orzek. Battle for the puck behind Hyder as it scoots to the right point where it's held by Mastrodomenico, but not for long. Sylvester bullies his way into the attacking zone. Looks to leave it for Young. Puck skips off his stick. Repossessed by Greenville. 3-on-2 up the ice. Stretched ahead for a shot save made by Hyder. Blazing towards the net was Neil Shea. Had a step ahead thanks to the stretch pass, but Ethan Hyder with another big save keeps it a scoreless affair with 10:22 left in the first. That was a great pass to Shea right down the middle, one-on-one with Hyder. He comes out way to the top of his crease, take away the angle and make that save. Big day so far for Ethan Hyder. 7 of 7 to start. Gladiators still just have one shot on goal. 10:22 left in period 1. Mastrodomenico left circle shoots. That goes wide of Hyder. Or we'll try and lift it out on the near side and will. Has Isley on the move. Gains the attacking line. Drops it off for Neely. He will center for a shot that gets turned away by Seville. Jarvis with the chance. Seville's biggest save of the day and his second of the day comes off a howitzer from Jarvis. Now Mastrodonato shoots. The rebound kicked away as Hyder made the initial save. Prouty from beneath the right circle centers. Again, backdoor. The shot goes wide off the stick of Mastrodonato. Walter carries to the neutral zone. Tries to come right down the middle, but bounces left circles. Taken away by Berg. Greenville holds as the 4-on-4 comes to an end with Walter out of the box. Brackett finds Polino right wing, slammed into the near half wall. Puck is taken away by Denemy. Tried to advance out of his own zone, held in by Prouty. Brackett down low, sends it across. Fanning on the one-timer for the Swamp Rabbits. Gladiators come back out to center. Conroy ahead, Davies in tight, stopped by Seville. It's turning into a track meet. Here comes Greenville. Brackett a shot, save made by Hyder. O'Brien takes it out to center, comes in left wing. He'll steer it behind the net and around to the far corner for Davies. From the corner, pinned up by Murray, able to clink it to Walter. At the right point, he will turn, drop it down deeper for Orzek. He'll let it go behind the net to O'Brien, caught in a battle with Mastrodomenico. Pinned up along the end wall. Walter joins the fray. Puck kick free to McNamee. He'll put it up top. Over to Gaudette, left point, he will hold. Down low to Walter. From the circle, turning and shooting. Kick save by Seville. Mastrodomenico makes his way to the red line. Chips it off the wall to himself. Wants to center, but it's blocked by Orzek. Gladiators defenseman's able to take it away. Atlanta unable to exit for now. Bruce caught deep in his own end. Has the puck taken away from behind Hyder. Centered to Zeri. Shot off the side of the net. He'll put it to the right point for DeYoung. Across to Lovell. A blast blocked in front. Got in front of it. Walter holds along the far wing. Drops it off to Orzek. Up ahead has Gaudette, who will loft it in deep and get off for a change. 7:40 left in the first period. Still a scoreless affair. Roost pestering DeYoung on the forecheck. Greenville is able to make its way out to the neutral zone and a little bit more. Drop pass centered for DeYoung. Broken up by Roost. Loose between the circles. Turning is Galt. Forced out to the top. At the lines, DeYoung. Into the near corner they go. Back up to the left point to Lovell. He'll turn and send it towards the net where it skips wide of Hyder. Greenville tries to tuck it in. Hyder on top of it. Puck jumbles free from the trapezoid. Grabbed by Roost. Finds Jarvis in open space. He'll slot it out to the neutral zone away from pressure. Bulmer, the intended target. Gladiators are able to get a change, though. 6:53 left in the first period. Young on the forecheck almost forces a turnover from Lovell. Greenville defenseman able to spin away from the coverage. DeYoung now on the right wing, leaves it for Lovell, who slingshot to neutral ice. Up ahead looking for Smirnov. Pass goes away from the intended target. Greenville chases it to the end wall. Murphy caught up to by Les. Puck is sent to the line. Long shot by Berg. Whistles wide of Hyder. Right wing Prouty's there to keep it in. A fine Berg again. Another shot through traffic. Hyder's got it. 6:22 left in the first. Hyder makes yet another save as he has come up clutch for Atlanta here in the first period. This game's opened up and turned into a track meet, but it's still a scoreless contest. We are back for more first period action after this from our local partners.
Life's too short for ordinary whiskey. Make it infamous. Now available at Mega Package Store, 2820 Lawrenceville, Sewanee, Oregon, 4 miles from Gas South Arena.
Why choose between getting things done and doing things with the ones you love? With Kroger's same-day pickup and delivery, it's easy to shop the same great prices and quality you'd find in-store, so you can catch more family time. We'll bring your groceries right to you, satisfaction guaranteed, so you can spend time on what matters most. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
6:22 left in the first period here in Greenville. No score. Guy Chiarenza with you here on the Gladiators Broadcast Network. Big shout out to all the Gladiators fans who made the trip here to Greenville today. A lot of them are in section 101. Got to talking with a few in the concourse earlier today. Great to see Glads fans on the road. For my money, best fans in the ECHL. And hope to see you all in Charleston on Friday night for game 1 of round 1 of the Kelly Cup playoffs. In on the right wing is Percival, cuts to the net. Hyder robs him in tight. And Greenville showcasing some speed here in the first period. And Ethan Hyder so far has been the difference. Percival went from 0 to 100 real quick. Just went around Les and Conroy, cut to the net, and Hyder able to make the save, and he didn't quite have it all. Rebound was loose in the blue paint, and good awareness from Brendan Les to give it back to Hyder, who's able to get on top of it to make the save. We have hit the threshold for another timeout, so cue the commercials. Scoreless in Greenville. 5:58 to play in period number 1.
It's game day and Bucky's ready for action. From the moment he pulls up, it's all smiles, high fives, and Beaver Toyota pride. A quick stop for snacks and he's game ready. The energy in the arena starts to build because when Beaver Toyota and the Gladiators team up, the fun and excitement never stop. Catch Bucky at the next Gladiators game or visit us anytime at beavertoyotacoming.com.
If you are unable to make it to North Charleston on Friday night for the Gladiators' first playoff game in about 4 years, good news is you can watch it on Flow Hockey. Never miss a goal with Flow Hockey. You can watch today's event live along with the Gladiators' playoff run for the rest of the season. Visit flowhockey.tv for more information and to sign up for your subscription today. And the good news is things get even better. There is a limited time pricing offer from Flow Hockey right now. Flow Hockey is currently running a limited time offer on annual access during playoffs. Newer monthly subscribers can get up to 9 months free with an annual pay of just $9.99 per month. So go check it out, flowhockey.tv, and get started with your subscription today. Still scoreless in Greenville. Gladiators punch it in deep. Seville slows it down and whips it out to center. Handled by Gaudette, first-year pro out of Stonehill College. Rolls it ahead to O'Brien. He'll gain the attacking line. Leave it for Davies. From the left wing, he will shoot. Stick save Seville. Puck held in at the right point by Jarvis. Tries to slam it deeper. Hits his own man in Orzek. Greenville is able to pick it up. Scoot it to center. Handled by Jarvis at center circle. They'll plunge right back in. Isley from beneath the left circle pulls up, scans his options, chucks it across where it hits a stick and skips to Shea. Moving ahead down the left wing, he will center. Backdoor pass didn't connect with O'Hara. He'll drop it up top, and Mastrodomenico scores. The rookie for Greenville makes it a 1-0 Swamp Rabbit lead with his first professional goal. Just a defensive breakdown for the Gladiators. It's been a track meet here for the last 10 minutes in the first period. And unfortunately, that style of play benefits Greenville. And they're able to get Hyder moving out of sorts. Puck ends up behind the net. They center up top to Mastrodomenico, who is trailing. One-time blast goes wide of the traffic and into the back of the net. And ends up beating Hyder for the game's first score. Walter right wing, scoots it out to center. Gladiators looking to get that one back. Atlanta, when trailing first this season, holds a record of 12, 18, and 3. Greenville with it in its own end. Mastrodomenico, the goal scorer, gains the attacking line, leaves it for O'Reilly. He will center for a shot by Brackett, hits the leg and goes wide. Puck in the far corner, grabbed by Conroy, rolled to Les on the near side. In some open space, finds Denemy left wing. He'll scoot it into Greenville ice as the Gladiators get a partial change in. Mastrodomenico lugs it out to center, brushes it up ahead where a pass is intercepted by Conroy. D to D for Gaudette. He'll gain the red line and lift it ahead, wanting Denemy. Ends up going down to the trapezoid where it's gathered by Lovell. Punched further ahead. Gladiators get in front of it. Puck spins to the near corner where Cipollone throws a check on Murray. Puck will leak to the left point. Gaudette looks to hold it in. Bullying his way out to center was the rookie Galt for Greenville. Puck shaken down. Swamp Rabbits repossess. Murray from his own zone stutters and oops it to the neutral zone. Pass to the left wing goes ahead of Zeri, and the Gladiators have it back. A couple of errant passes here from Atlanta late in the first period. Greenville with control again. Milburn gains the attacking line, and you have a delayed penalty here, and it looks like it's on Atlanta. Gladiators touch up, and that will be the first time we will see this Beaver Toyota Mazda penalty kill. Looks like holding is going to be the call. And see who ends up sitting for the Gladiators. It'll be Brett Bulmer. So this Gladiators PK in its last outing 1 week ago in Savannah ended up going 2 for 2. We'll see how they fare here today. One of the topics of conversation in the pregame show was the Gladiators could get some momentum on their special teams as well heading into the playoffs. Here's a good time to put that to the test. Gladiators penalty kill this season operates at 81.6%, 14th best in the ECHL, right around middle of the pack. Going up against a Greenville power play that has had its struggles this year, operates at 15.3%. And ended up going 0 for 1 against Jacksonville yesterday. Gladiators open the kill with a clear. Bulmer in the box for a holding. And here is Lovell charging in, drops it off left wing. Shea caught in a bind, shuttles it to the point. Greenville holds it in. Shea centers for a shot. Hyder fights it off. O'Hara with the bid. Gladiators sweep it away. It'll make its way all the way down to Seville, who leaves it for Smirnov. Shot count an alarming 13-5 in favor of Greenville. This goes to show how well the Swamp Rabbits have come out to start. Cipollone, shorthanded, centers for Les. He scores! Brendan Les, shorthanded, ties the game thanks to the forecheck from Cipollone. Gladiators on the board. It's another shorty, their 12th of the season, and Brendan Les puts it home. What a play. Cipollone aggressive on the forecheck, and it pays off. ties the game up at 1 apiece. You can never count these Gladiators out, especially with that Beaver Toyota Mazda penalty kill. So Brendan Less gets his 4th goal of the season. And a big shout-out is in order as well. His mom celebrating her 60th birthday today. Big congratulations to her, and big congratulations to Brendan Less as well. Big day for the Less family. And Less gets the tying goal. This Atlanta Gladiators penalty kill has found a way to not only get kills this season, but score shorthanded goals. That's their 12th of the campaign. Greenville still on the power play for the next 38 seconds. Chucks it to the line. Murray, left point to Berg. Further downhill. They'll work it back to the line. Berg, a blast over the head of Hyder. Puck will plop down into the near corner. And now the Gladiators will send it through center with another clear. Down to just 17 seconds left on the kill. Greenville not seemingly in any hurry as Berg fumbles it behind his own net. Chips it ahead to Prouty, and away they go. Shea bounces to the left wing, drops it off in hopes of finding O'Hara. Roost had them all tied up. McNamee will lug it to center. Out of the box is Bulmer, back to 5-on-5. And all things considered, a great kill for the Gladiators. Not only kill it off, but they score to tie the game. Roost in the near corner, pivots away from pressure, climbs up to the point, and now makes his way between the circles for a shot, kick, save, rebound to Bulmer, turns and shoots, and Seville is able to pounce on it with 46 seconds left in the period. So boy, oh boy, there I was talking about how good of a start it was for Greenville that outshot the Gladiators. I believe at that point it was 13-6. Then the Gladiators scored the shorthanded goal from Les, and now just about took the lead there with a great play from Roost. Put a shot on goal, get the rebound, and Bulmer was there as well. And one of the keys to the game from Matt Ginn was to win the net front. You saw a little bit of it there. Coming up next at the end of the first period is the first intermission report. We'll recap this first period, look ahead to the second, and talk about the playoff schedule between the Gladiators and the Stingrays. All that coming up on the first intermission report. Or right point shot blocked by Shea. Puck tumbles out to center or gets it back. Leaves it for Cipollone, who will just chuck it to the Greenville end wall. Handled by Lovell. He'll sweep it right wing. 30 seconds to go. Lob to center. On time for Percival. Cipollone defending. Lobbed ahead to Mastrodonato. Cuts towards the net. The Maestro shoots, and it goes wide. DeYoung at the right point, returns it to Mastrodonato. Puck is spat out the center. 13 seconds left in the period. We do have a delayed penalty on the Gladiators here, and looks like Greenville content to let the clock expire. And the Swamp Rabbits will open the second period with a power play. And for the Gladiators, might not be the worst thing in the world. They get a shorty from Brendan Less to tie the game up at 1 after Greenville's opening score came from one of their defensemen, Michael Mastrodomenico, and it is a 1-1 contest after 1. Lot to talk about here in game number 72. We'll get to that on the other side of the break in the first intermission report, but here's what you need to know for now. Shot count, 13-8 in favor of Greenville, but the score all tied up at 1 after 1. Gladiators and the Swamp Rabbits doing battle for the 14th and final time this season. Coming up next, the first intermission report after a word from our local partners.
Feels like everyone's trying to copy the $5 biggie bag. So how can you spot a knockoff? It won't taste like Wendy's. This job is easy. When the deal is as fresh as the meal, gotta be Wendy's.
Gotta be fresh.
Sometimes life's collisions leave us feeling off balance. But at 100% Chiropractic, we know how to get you back on track.
We don't just straighten you out, we empower you. We educate you on how to get to the root cause and give you a play-by-play strategy on how to get you back to 100%. We even use lasers. Fucking lasers! Our $49 first experience includes a complete set of comprehensive chiropractic x-rays, a fit 3D scan, and your first life-changing adjustment. Visit us and break the ice. Discover the power of chiropractic care at 100%.
When you need inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger. For thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals. And low prices that add up to big savings, like over $600 in digital coupons each week, and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Gwinnett Fire and Emergency Services is ready to answer the call, but we'd rather prevent them. Our free home safety survey includes checking smoke alarms, identifying common hazards, and reviewing your family's home escape plan. Schedule yours today.
Maybe the final game of the regular season, and these two teams don't have anything really mathematically to play for, but there is something to be said about playing your rival no matter the occasion, and this one so far has not disappointed. Gladiators and the Swamp Rabbits meeting for the 14th and final time this season, and they are all tied up at 1 after one period of play. Guy Chiarenza with you here from upstate South Carolina. We will be down in North Charleston on Friday night for Game 1 of the Kelly Cup playoffs. Gladiators are back in the postseason for the first time since 2022. I think just about everybody in Duluth is excited to see the Glads back in the chase for the Kelly Cup. What a season it has been for these Gladiators, and they look to cap it all off here today with a win at Bon Secours Wellness Arena. It was a first period that started with Ethan Hyder, and Ethan Hyder really kept this one within reach for the Gladiators as Greenville, right out the hop, seemingly had a bit of a more step in the right direction in terms of pace, style of play. It was pretty even to begin, but after a few minutes, it certainly became apparent that the Swamp Rabbits were starting to turn this thing into a track meet, and good credit to Ethan Hyder. He was able to keep the puck out of the net with a series of sensational saves to keep Atlanta in it. What was a scoreless affair for much of the first period, but ultimately, the Swamp Rabbits do get Hyder all spun around and out of sorts, and they end up sending a puck to the line for a trailing defenseman who shoots and scores. Michael Mastrodomenico scores the first goal of his professional career. The rookie for Greenville puts it home, and the Swamp Rabbits take a 1-0 lead with 4:57 left in the first period. But hold your horses, and slow your roll, because the Gladiators do bite back, and surprise, surprise, it's another shorthanded goal for the Gladiators this season, their 12th of the campaign. It has been some kind of season when it comes to scoring shorthanded goals for the Gladiators this year, as Brendan Less becomes the latest Gladiator to score a shorthanded goal. Gladiators have had now 10 players score a shorthanded goal this season. Less becomes the 10th. And the only two Gladiators that have scored more than one shorthanded goal this season, Mickey Burns and Alex Young. And then Les now scores the 12th for the team to tie the game up at 1 here today. And that play doesn't happen without the strong work of Joey Cipollone, as it looked like Greenville had an opportunity to take a 2-0 lead. After scoring that goal from Mastrodomenico, they quickly went to the power play shortly thereafter with Brett Bulmer in the box for a holding. And this Gladiators team looking to make a statement heading into the playoffs. Well, that's how you do it. Cipollone on the forecheck, able to create a turnover on the near boards. Centers it to Les, who's the trailer. And he's able to put it home for his 4th goal of the season to make it a 1-1 tie after 1. And there's something to be said about having a good penalty kill, which the Gladiators do. Statistically, it's right around average, but the Gladiators' penalty kill has proven that in big-time moments it can step up, i.e. I'm thinking about that game in Jacksonville last weekend where the Gladiators were able to hold off the Icemen on a 5-on-3 penalty kill in overtime to end up winning that game in a shootout. Something to be said about being able to get the job done when it comes to just killing penalties. And there's also something to be said about being able to score shorthanded goals. Get yourself back into games, especially in a contest like this, and that's exactly what the Gladiators did there in the first period. And I think for Atlanta, good credit to them to get that shorthanded goal, and even better play from Joey Cipollone to really create that whole sequence He's been on a tear as of late. He ends up getting the primary assist and the only assist on Brendan Less's shorthanded goal. But for the Gladiators there in that first period, they won the special teams battle, which is big. They're going to need to do that, especially in their first-round playoff series against South Carolina, who is the most penalized team in the ECHL. So the Gladiators do get their opportunities on the man advantage, and certainly they're going to have their chances on the kill as well. But if they do get their chances on the man advantage in the postseason against South Carolina, which seemingly they will, they're going to have to find a way to convert on those opportunities. I mean, we've yet to see the Eco-Electric power play here today, but when it comes to the Beaver Toyota Mazda penalty kill, so far, so good. That much we can say for certain. Now, in terms of the overall pace of play in the first period, that belonged to Greenville. Gladiators outshot 14-8 here in period number 1, and there was a time where after the first 5 minutes of the first period, this game became a track meet. It was up and down, really just seemingly chances generated off the rush, and for the Gladiators, they can play that style of game, but most of the time, it doesn't fare well for them. This is a Gladiators team that is primarily based on a good defensive structure, good zone entries, able to clog up the neutral zone, really dictate the pace of play. Didn't see a whole lot of that there in the first period, and as a result, Gladiators got caught on their heels, and it ultimately led to the Basher Domenico goal. For the Gladiators here in the second period and beyond, they have to find a way to get back to that structure. That is when they're at their best, and if they can take a lead, they're in good shape. Gladiators are even better when they have the lead because then they can really get into that structure, stymie their opponent, make them create turnovers, trying to get back into a game, going into desperation mode. This is a Gladiators team that likes to play with the lead. We'll see if they can get that lead thanks to that tying goal from Brendan Less, shorthanded from Joey Cipolome late in the first period. And so it is, a 1-1 tie after 20 minutes. We'll look ahead to period 2 on the other side of the break. We'll also break down the upcoming playoff schedule between the Gladiators and the Stingrays. Final day of the regular season. No better way to spend it than the Gladiators and the Swamp Rabbits. More Gladiators hockey on the other side after a word from our local partners.
It's game day and Bucky's ready for action. From the moment he pulls up, it's all smiles, high fives, and Beaver Toyota pride. A quick stop for snacks and he's game ready. The energy in the arena starts to build because when Beaver Toyota and the Gladiators team up, the fun and excitement never stop. Catch Bucky at the next Gladiators game or visit us anytime at beavertoyotacoming.com.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in, and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping and partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
Need to build a professional brand? Alpha Graphics delivers with stunning signage, graphics, and marketing materials that are exactly what you need to earn clients' trust. Alpha Graphics. Bring your brand to life.
Life's too short for ordinary whiskey. Make it infamous.
Now available at Mega Package Store, 2820 Lawrenceville, Sewanee, Oregon, 4 miles from Gas South Arena.
Gwinnett Fire and Emergency Services is ready to answer the call, but we'd rather prevent them. Our free home safety survey includes checking smoke alarms, identifying common hazards, and reviewing your family's home escape plan. Schedule yours today.
1-1 tie after 1 here in Greenville. Bon Secours Wellness Arena, the venue. Sunday afternoon, April 19th. The day is the final day of the regular season, and what a season it has been for these Gladiators, led by head coach Matt Ginn. It has been a phenomenal campaign, and it is not over yet. We are off to the playoffs. Round number 1, game number 1, Friday night in North Charleston. Gladiators and the Stingrays. A tale as old as time. It'll be the 5th time these two teams meet in the Kelly Cup playoffs. First time since 2013, which was the last Gladiators playoff series win and the last time the Gladiators won a playoff game. And so the Gladiators will look to capture the Kelly Cup for the first time in franchise history. And it all goes down with game number 1 on Friday night in North Charleston, April 24th at 7:05 p.m. Pre-game coverage will begin at 6:45 p.m. Eastern Time here on Flow Hockey and YouTube, as we are excited to be in the postseason. Game 2, Saturday in North Charleston at 6:05 p.m., so calling the 5:45 pregame show. And then the tide will turn to Duluth. Playoff games at Gas South Arena for the first time in 8 years. Glads fans, tell me in the YouTube chat, how are you feeling? If you haven't got your tickets already, get your tickets in the link in the YouTube live chat. And join us for games 3 or 4, perhaps even both, Monday and Tuesday, April 27th and 28th, both with a 7:10 p.m. start time. Gladiators and the Stingrays in round number 1 of the Kelly Cup playoffs. And so that is what is ahead for the Gladiators outside of this game, which is a makeup game from December 26th. Got rescheduled to today from the ECHL player strike, which ended up actually not being all that bad for the Gladiators with this makeup game here today, because it did give them opportunity for Milwaukee to send us Austin Roost and Josh Davies, who now by playing in this game are both playoff eligible for the Gladiators in that series against the Stingrays. And these two guys should be a great, great help. And there in that first period, Austin Roost seems to be back to business. At the ECHL level, he has dominated. He's over a point per game player with the Gladiators in 4 games prior. 2 goals, 3 assists, 5 points with Atlanta. And he was right back on his horse there in the first period. We saw him generate some plays around the edges. Not the biggest guy on the ice, but he is certainly strong, winning those battles along the boards, and even at times sending pucks to the net front, creating chances there as well. I'm looking for another big game from Austin Roost, and I've liked what I've seen from Josh Davies so far as well. This is a guy that stands at 5'10", 200 pounds, and just like Roost, he is strong, and it seems like he's got a good shot as well. Sent a couple of pucks towards Seville's way. Didn't end up finding the back of the net there, but he is once again, just like Roost, going to be a valuable asset to the Gladiators as long as he's in the lineup. And now, as I mentioned before, with those two in the lineup today, they are now playoff eligible. So good help to have, especially when you get guy that's a former draft pick of the Nashville Predators in Roost, and another that's a former draft pick of the Florida Panthers in Davies. So there certainly is the talent there, and the Gladiators are fortunate and happy to have them in the lineup. And so we'll see what the second period brings. But for the Gladiators, you think you'd like to see them generate a little bit more offense there, right? I mean, defensively, that has been their A-game this season. I got to speaking with head coach Matt Ginn earlier on in the week to really recap the first 71 games of the season, look ahead to here today and really the postseason against the Stingrays in round number 1. And he really echoed the same sentiment that I've had since training camp. The Gladiators are built from the back end up. The goaltending, Septemfelter and Hyder, has been their biggest asset, been their biggest strong suit all season long. And so it's no surprise that Ethan Hyder was the Gladiators' MVP there in the first period, especially when Greenville was pushing. He was able to keep the puck out of the net, albeit for the long shot by Masher Domenico. Has the Gladiators tied in this game thanks to his hard work. And then really their defensive structure from then. Seems like no matter who the Gladiators put the 6 defenders, sometimes 7, in front of Hyder or Septemfelter, that defensive core is one of the best, if not the best, in the ECHL, and has given the Gladiators a chance to win time and time again. Gladiators have only given up, on average, 2.54 goals against per game. That's the 5th best figure in the ECHL. They're one of the best defensive teams in the league this year. Gladiators aren't going to outscore their opponents 7-5, 7-4 in games like that this season. That's something that Matt Ginn said in the conversation they had with them. They're really a defense-first team where they're going to win those low-scoring affairs. 3-2. 2-1. They're going to win those kinds of games, and this season they have. In 1-goal games, the Gladiators are 19-8, 4-1, and so you think for a team that is built for postseason play like the Gladiators, they should be a very tough out in the Kelly Cup playoffs because they somehow seem to find a way to win those gritty games, and this one might be one of them. We'll see if the Gladiators are able to get some more offense here in the second period and beyond, but if they're able to get back to that defensive structure and that style of play that they've had so much this season, chances are they're going to find a way to slow down the Swamp Rabbits here in the final 40 minutes and find a way to pull ahead like they've done many, many times in the season series. Let's take a look at our YouTube live chat, see what our fans have got going on here today. We have got a bunch of fans over at Aloft Hotels, the official hotel partner of the Atlanta Gladiators, for the final watch party of the regular season. Big shout out to everyone there. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. And a big thank you to everybody who made the trip to Greenville today. See a lot of you in Section 101 and scattered here at Bon Secours Wellness Arena. It does not go unnoticed. Hope to see you all in North Charleston for game number 1, and if not then, at home for games 3 and 4 in Duluth on Monday and Tuesday nights. Looks like Rebecca thinking about going to North Charleston on Friday nights. Maybe once-in-a-lifetime experience. Certainly going to be a whole lot of fun. Some bands looking to make their way to Duluth on Monday and Tuesday night. Daffy Doo in the chat. Stadium arenas. The whole multiverse of them seem to be here. J9 watching from back home. Good to see Tracy Hayes at the watch party at Aloft. Amy Palmer checking in as well. We got the whole crew here today on a Sunday afternoon in Greenville, as we are just about set for second period action between the Gladiators and the Swamp Rabbits. Gladiators wearing their white jerseys with blue numbers and Gladiator gold trim will skate from left to right in the second period. Swamp Rabbits wearing their blue jerseys with orange numbers and white trim will skate from right to left. We do have a 4-man officiating crew here today, led by referees Tyler Haskell, wearing number 8, and Grant Hendricks, wearing number 5. Linesman Noah Ackerman, number 62, and Kyle Gaspari, wearing number 67. We've seen him a lot this season. Good to see him again, fittingly, for the final game of the regular season. And not a whole lot of penalties called there in that first period. We had the 4-on-4 between Walter and Lovell, and then the power play for Greenville, which the Gladiators scored on with Brett Bulmer in the box. That's all so far here today. See if we get a little bit more here in the second period as things continue to open up between these two rivals. Cipollo against O'Hara at the dot to begin period 2. And O'Hara has won it. Greenville begins the second frame with possession. Guy Chiarenza with you here on the Gladiators Broadcast Network on Flow Hockey and YouTube. 1-1 after 1, and we'll see what the second period has in store. Greenville works its way to the Gladiator trapezoid. Smirnov takes a spill. They send it up top. Lovell holds. Passes downhill to Shea left wing. Back to Lovell at the line. Shea once again. Further down the wall. Back up top to Lovell. Right wing to Mastrodonato. And now Lovell at the right wing. Gladiators on the penalty kill to start the second period, as at the end of the first, Evan Orr was calling for a penalty. And so Greenville is on the man advantage. Gladiators on the Beaver Toyota Mazda penalty kill. Cipollone in the near corner, punches it out to center, and that will be a Gladiators clear. And that was something that kind of got lost in the mire at the end of the first period. Greenville does open with the power play, as they'll brush it right wing for Percival. Pulls up in the corner. They'll put it up top. Polino to Shea. Left wing looking towards the cage. Doesn't fire that way. Try to put it back to the line and ends up escaping the grasp of Lovell. Greenville has to roll out to center. They come right back in. Percival plunges down the left wing. Drops it off for Shea. He has a trailer in Polino, drifting right wing. He'll carry to the circle. Polino shoots off the side of the net, and it stays out. Exchanges with Shea left wing. Centering feed intercepted by Davies. Moving up ice with Orzek. 22 seconds left on the kill. Davies takes it behind the net. Broken up by Percival. Greenville will repossess. Percival pestered by Roost. Gladiators looking to once again make it a successful Beaver Toyota Mazda penalty kill. Down the middle, Murray snipes a shot wide, hits the end wall, bounces up top. Percival drops it off for Berg, or out of the box as Greenville pots it into the near corner. Gladiators 2 for 2 on the kill as Murphy fires a shot wide. Puck in the far corner. Percival's grabbed it. Jarvis able to slam it away as the puck bounces out to center. And now McNamee draws a penalty as took a knee-on-knee collision on the clear. And so now it looks like the Gladiators are going to the Eco-Electric power play for the first time today. It looks like the culprit is Wade Murphy. He will go and take a seat. And we'll see this Gladiators power play. Gladiators went 0 for 4 on the power play on Sunday in Savannah. This is a power play that has only scored once in its last 5 games, 1 for 17 in that span. But on the season, Gladiators power play operates at 18.3%, 13th best in the ECHL. Roost at the left point, slides it into the corner. Greenville is able to read that play and shuttle it all the way down to Hyder for a clear. We've seen at times this Gladiators power play suffers when Chad Nychuk is out of the lineup. He is unavailable today. We'll see how they fare. Walter down the middle, feeds it left wing to Roost. Puck will now skip to the near corner where Young rolls it hard around to Roost on the far wall. He's able to knife it down to the trapezoid. Puck spurts into the air but stays in play. Back to Roost, and it appears to be played with a high stick. And so the clock will stop with 1:17 left on this Gladiators power play. And 3:02 gone by in the second. And Gladiators will change personnel here. Now we see Cipollone, Orzek, McNamee, Davies, and Isley on the ice for this power play. McNamee to take the face-off against Polino on the far dot. Polino has won it. McNamee grabs it back, puts it up top to Orzek at the left point. Across to Isley, right circle to the goal line to Davies. Takes the return feed and shoots. Isley's shot stopped by Seville, and he will hold with 1:03 left on this Gladiators power play. Keep a close eye on Mike McNamee here. Does have 4 power play goals and 4 power play assists this season. 8 of his 18 points have come on the man advantage. Greenville's won another face-off. Gladiators try and pick it free in the near corner. Cipollone tries to slap it to the line, but it's picked off by Polino. He'll chase it out to center. Gladiators regain possession. Now down to the final 45 seconds of this power play. Cipollone, wing to wing, has Davies. Drop it back to Orzek. Gladiators didn't like what they saw as they tried to enter Greenville ice. Now Cipollone drags it down the right wing and tries to gain the attacking line. Spurts it inside to McNamee. Feathered left wing to Davies, who turns it to McNamee in the far corner. He will center. Isley off balance, ladles it to the line. Return feed goes by the rookie, catches up to it in the corner, and spins it to the left point for McNamee. McNamee shoots towards the net, tipped wide by Davies. Into the inner corner it goes. Isley slammed by Galt, and the puck will leak out to center. Greenville up by shorthanded, 3-on-1. Percival across, and Hyder robs Berg. Oh, what a stop! Moving from right to left, and it keeps it out at the end of the penalty. Wow! Ethan Hyder's having himself a day. Puck will skip into his glove, and he will freeze it with 15:22 left in the second. Ethan Hyder, how do you do? Mentioned it back in the first intermission report and really throughout the course of the day. The Gladiators' goaltending, at least in my opinion, is their greatest strength, and there's no doubt about it there. 3-on-1 for Greenville. Basically turned into a 2-on-0 at that point. Send it across backdoor, and Hyder made the save. Robbing Berg. Right point shot. Hyder gobbles that up off the stick of Master Domenico. So now Hyder has stopped 14 of 15 so far in this game. Seville 8 of 9. Face off to the left of Hyder. Young will take this against O'Hara. Greenville wins the draw. Right point down below the goal line to Shea. Draped over him is Conroy looking to wedge it free. Greenville holds firm. They shuttle it to the line. Mashamenico a shot tipped in front, and Hyder able to vacuum it up. Makes the stop with 5:02 gone by in the second. Well, Ethan Hyder's playing some kind of way here today. He's just seeing everything right now. And for the Gladiators, this is a good sight to see. And not quite sure who the Game 1 starter is going to be on Friday night. Matt Ginn didn't tip his cap one way or the other in the conversation that I had with him earlier this week. You can catch that conversation on our YouTube channel. But for the Gladiators, it's been a rotational basis between Hyder and Semptimphelter all season long when both are available. And whether it's Hyder or Semptimphelter starting Game 1, either guy is going to give you the best chance to win, that's for sure. Puck on the far wall, Sylvester slams down Mastrodomenico. Welcome to the league. Veteran on rookie. That makes the big crunch there. O'Hara dances down the right wing and shoots up and over the head of Hyder. Puck caroms to the left point. Shea couldn't keep it in. Now Murray in the neutral zone throws it ahead to Mastrodonato. Over the attacking line, Greenville's offside. Mastrodonato trying to argue his case, but Eagle Eye linesman had the final say. Mastrodonato, the maestro, as they used to call him back in his Utah Grizzlies days, has made a point of emphasis in the season series that he shows up against Atlanta. 8 goals, 3 assists, 11 points in the 11 games prior. The Gladiators are able to shut him down and have a good shot at winning. But he has been a threat in the season series and has certainly left his mark. Gladiators now ice the puck up the ensuing face-off. He's now pay a visit to Ethan Hyder, who in his own right has done well against Greenville this season. 7-2 record. This is 10th appearance in the season series. 2 goals against average, .939 save percentage. Face off to his left. Cipollone will take it against Polino. And Polino wins it. Quick shot off the draw, goes wide of Hyder. Puck available on the near side boards. Fulmer is able to pick it free. Charges out to the red line, lifts it into Greenville ice after taking a check, and Fulmer down on the near side boards, and Cipollone takes offense. He goes after, I believe it was Brackett. Chaos ensues in the Greenville zone, but Bulmer still down, and scary sight in Greenville. Hopefully he's okay. Meanwhile, Cipollone still throwing haymakers. Denemy in there as well. Tristan DeYoung also in the pile. As Athletic trainer Nick Nelson takes a look at Brett Bulmer. And it's just one of those plays where he's trying to skate it out of his own zone. Gets squeezed up against on the near side boards and gets checked hard. It ends up going down and staying down. And Nick Nelson and Evan Orr are going to help Bulmer up to his feet. And again, hopefully he is going to be okay. Bulmer favoring his left leg, not putting any weight on it. Looks like he is going to go off to the Gladiators locker room to receive more medical attention. And then we keep him in our thoughts and prayers. And hope that he is going to be able to make a quick recovery from this. In the meantime, we'll see if there's any penalty that came off of that play. It was kind of in my blind spot along the near side boards. I believe it was Brackett that threw the hit, but I can't quite say for sure. But DeYoung is going to go to the box for Greenville, which may be a byproduct of the skirmish that ensued afterwards. We'll see what the official penalty call is. In a 1-1 game here in the final game of the regular season, a game that essentially means nothing to these two. That is a big loss to the Gladiators to lose the veteran presence of Brett Bulmer for seemingly the foreseeable future. And it looks like Evan Orr is going to take a seat as well. So looks like we're headed back to 4-on-4 here in Greenville for the second time today. With DeYoung in the box for Greenville and Orr in the box for Atlanta. You can only assume that roughing is the call to each. And to 4-on-4 action we go. And you have to give the Gladiators a lot of credit. Orr, Cipollone, Denemy, really everybody else that was on the ice during that sequence when Bulmer went down to stand up for their teammate. Throw some fisticuffs in there, haymakers, whatever you want to call it. And it really speaks volumes about the tight-knit group that Matt Ginn and Zach Vanell have brought together here this season. And I believe is one of the reasons why they are postseason bound. But now without Bulmer, they are down to 11 forwards. And some 4-on-4 action here. Percival speeds down the right wing, slows up at the top of the circle. Pitches it deeper for Lovell in the far corner, met by Gaudette. Puck leaks free. Roost has got it. Quickly sends it right wing to Orzek. Up ahead has Gaudette. Gladiators breaking free. Gaudette shoots off a stick and out of play. It was Berg that got some wood on it. With 13:30 to go in the second period, we pause again. Timeout on the ice. We will take one as well. 1-1 tie in Greenville as we approach the midway mark of the game.
Need to build a professional brand? Alpha Graphics delivers with stunning signage, graphics, and marketing materials that are exactly what you need to earn clients' trust. Alpha Graphics. Bring your brand to life.
Wendy's has new chicken tenders. Crispy, juicy, tendery tendies. Ooh, that's fun to say. Tendies, tendies, tendies. And they're so good, maybe we should change our... For tendies you're gonna know by name, gotta be Wendy's.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
1-1 tie in Greenville. 13:30 left in the second period. Guy Chiarenza with you here on the Gladiators Broadcast Network. In a game that is essentially meaningless to both sides, albeit the pride of winning against your rival. Tough to see Gladiator forward Brett Bulmer go down on the latest shift. Ended up going to the Gladiators locker room. We will see if he's able to return, although seemingly favoring his left leg. Don't want to speculate. We'll call it a lower body injury. But for now, a tough loss for the Gladiators to lose his veteran presence, and they're now down to 11 forwards unless he's able to return. 4-on-4 action is a byproduct of the skirmish that ensued afterwards. 1:13 left on that. As in on the right wing comes Greenville. O'Hara driving towards the net, slows up and sends it to the goal. Save made by Hyder. Rebound collected and gathered by Davies. Les will wait behind the net. He is the Gladiators' goal scorer today. Feeds it right wing to O'Brien, who gains the attacking line. He'll pass it left wing for Conroy. Ends up losing an edge. Is able to swipe it back to O'Brien in the far corner, who scurries to the line. At the left point, dancing, deking, and diving. Trades it off to Conroy, trying to create some separation. Reverse play to Isley. Slap shot right wing by Gaudette goes wide. And now on the far wall, it is O'Brien, making his way back up to blue. Left for Gaudette. Spins away from Shea. The defenseman takes it into the near corner. Gets tripped up. Nothing to be found there. Puck is taken away by Brackett. Gaudette gets back into defensive position as Brackett takes it to center. Leaves it for Masha Domenico as it peeled away by Young upon entry. Sends Isley into action. Left wing cuts inside and shoots. That goes wide. Isley to Young behind the cage. Young will look to center. Hits the stick and bounces wide to Young and Ord out of the box. Racing out is Hyder trying to get it. DeYoung's able to get in front and score. Hyder rolled the dice, tried to take his chances playing that puck in the foot race between DeYoung and Orr. And DeYoung's able to get a body in front of it and take it to the house. Greenville leads 2-1. And so right as the 4-on-4 expired, DeYoung and Orr released. Puck was hurtling towards Hyder, kind of making its way to no man's land. And the netminder, seeing those two barreling towards the puck, elected to try and play that puck and ended up just firing it right into the body of DeYoung, who was able to take it to the goal mouth, which was empty, and score. So Greenville has its second lead of the day. See if the Gladiators can tie it the second time this afternoon. From the far wall, Greenville shoots, blocked in front by Jarvis. Now Orr in the near corner. Throws it ahead to Walter. Shadowed by Galt. Puck loose at the Gladiator blue line. They'll knock it a bit further ahead. Wanted Sylvester, but it ends up going away from him. Greenville repossesses, and they will break out. Prouty ahead to Galt. Over the attacking line, leaves it for Berg. From the left circle, pulls up at the wall. Slaps it deeper behind the cage to Galt. The rookie working against Conroy has it knifed away by Les. Behind the net, Greenville throws it up top. Murray, right point. Lifts it into the far corner. It'll skip to Zeri. Gets pinned up at the end wall by Conroy and Les. Somehow emerging free is Galt. Puts it up top for a blast that gets blocked in front by Conroy. Conroy trying to shake off that stinger that hit him in the skate. Bails the puck out to center. Connect with Walter in the right corner. Behind the net is Roost. Tries to spin away from Masher Domenico and does. Up the far wall. Pivots and tries to send it deeper. McNamee in a battle. Gets a piece of the puck. Knocks it to Walter between the circles. He shoots. Save made by Seville. Puck available on the far wall. Roost grabs it back. Finds Orzek right wing. The defenseman feathers it inside for Walter. His shot denied by Seville with 10:09 left in the second. Seville makes a great save on Walter there to keep that puck out. And the Gladiators still trail by 1. And Greenville leads the shot count 20-11 as well. Face off to the right of Seville. O'Brien will take this against Polino. O'Brien wins it. Isley trying to send it right wing, but it hit a stick on the way. Gets it back at center. Gaudette will send it ahead. Quick dump into Davies. Centering for Isley. Leaping to make the save of Seville. Gladiators try and cash it in, but they can't. Masher Domenico is able to sweep it away, and Greenville has control. Polino right wing checked hard by Davies as he mailed it up the ice. Gaudette ahead to Isley from the right wing. Plops it on goal. Stick save Seville. Puck into the near corner. Gladiators try and wrestle it free. O'Brien to the line, or a shot. Blocked in front. Greenville sweeps it to center. Percival takes it on the run. Defended well by Orr, and the rookie will clear. Isley right wing sends it inside. O'Brien shoots over the head of Seville. Puck ends up in the near corner. Jamming for it there is Denemy. Tries to outwork 2 Swamp Rabbits. Walter joins the fray. Denemy staying strong here. Gets it to Cipolo. He'll knife it up top to Orr. Stutter step away from Percival. Drops it back into the corner. Denemy leaves it for Walter. Behind the net, the Swede will center. They try and stuff it in. Makes its way to the goal line, and it's in! Joey Cipolo got the last touch, and the Gladiators have tied it at 2. Oh, it looked like for a second there the Swamp Rabbits were going to get that clear at the goal line, but Joey Cipolo would not be denied. He's having himself a monster of a game. It's now a multi-point affair for Cipolo. Gladiators tie it with 8:44 left in the second period. Never a dull moment between these two, is there? Joey Cipolo and his goals in back-to-back games. Picks up goal number 17 on that play. As the puck initially leaked by Seville at the goal line, they try to sweep it out, and then Cipolo from behind the net is able to get the last punch to tie the game. And that is the definition of not quitting on a play. So all tied up at 2, tied for the second time. Conroy takes it over center circle. Puck rolls off his stick. Sylvester's got it in front of his own bench. Chops it ahead to Young. Try to execute a give and go. Ends up spurting to the line. Young holds it in. Cipolo as... I think that's Sylvester, I beg your pardon, sends it over the cage. Left wing Young cuts in tight. Young to the goal, has it poke checked away. Sylvester turns, holds, doesn't shoot, sends it behind the net to Young. Spins away from Prouty. Still in the trapezoid. Nails it to the line. Conroy holds, he shoots, and the shot goes wide. Walter from the near corner. Exchanges with Young to put it up high to Les, across to Conroy. Feathered to Walter in the high slot. Has Young back to Walter. He shoots, saves Seville, and he's able to hold it with 7:18 left in the period. Well, boy, the Gladiators are buzzing. Joey Cipollone tied him the game, and they're looking for more. 2-2 tie with 7:18 to go in the second period. More action on the other side in Greenville.
It's game day and Bucky's ready for action. From the moment he pulls up, it's all smiles, high fives, and Beaver Toyota pride. A quick stop for snacks and he's game ready. The energy in the arena starts to build because when Beaver Toyota and the Gladiators team up, the fun and excitement never stop. Catch Bucky at the next Gladiators game or visit us anytime at beavertoyotacoming.com.
Why choose between getting things done and doing things with the ones you love? With Kroger's same-day pickup and delivery, it's easy to shop the same great prices and quality you'd find in-store, so you can catch more family time. We'll bring your groceries right to you, satisfaction guaranteed, so you can spend time on what matters most. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Joey Cipollone has a goal and an assist here today, as he has certainly turned it on as of late. Cipollone now has 5 goals and 6 assists, 11 points in 14 games against Greenville this season, and has been a career year for number 71. 17 goals, 20 assists, 37 points, and who knows, might slap in a few more here today with the way he's playing. Gladiators certainly pushing for more offense of the last few shifts. Greenville mails it out the center. Glove down by Gaudette. Quick touch ahead, and Roost springs into action. Puck scrubbed off his stick upon entry. Taken up ice by Milburn. Stuffed by Gaudette down the right wing. He's able to jab it into the near corner. They'll reverse it to the far where Milburn gets it back. Tries to deke around Gaudette. No luck there. As behind the net, Orzek is able to pull in the puck. Slap it off the wall. And spurt it out to center. Swamp Rabbits repossess. Roos on the forecheck. Ends up going to the bench. 6:35 left in the second period. As Lovell will stutter step to center. Jabs it to the right wing for Zary. Tries to pitch it in. Gladiators will make a defensive stand at their own blue line. And now Isley will surge to the left wing and pump the puck to the trapezoid, where it's snatched by DeYoung. Clearing attempt held in for a long shot. Blockered away by Seville. Big crunch on the near side boards as Galt got on top of Orr. Now in the far corner, they center for a shot. Davies puts it wide of the mark. O'Brien working his way up to the line. Pivots at the left point. Sends it towards the goal. That gets blocked. Orr dances back to that same area. He will shoot wide of Seville. Gladiators continue to press. Davies tried to knock it in deep. Puck kind of rolled off his stick there, and Greenville is able to escape to center. Down the middle is Polino. He shoots, blocked by Jarvis. Those two bump together in the far corner. Polino knocks it to the line. Mashta Menego a shot, and a glove save by Hyder with 5:33 on the clock. Still tied at 2 here at Bon Secours Wellness Arena. More second period action between these two South Division rivals after this from our local partners.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, and partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
This game has had no shortage of excitement. 2-2 with 5:33 left in the second. Gladiators win the defensive zone faceoff as we return to action. Denemy to Cipollone. Through the neutral zone they go. Cipollone makes his way into the near corner. Denemy right behind him. Gladiators look to keep the zone. McNamee pressuring as well as Cipollone delivers a big crunch on O'Reilly at the Greenville end wall. All in all, though, Swamp Rabbits are able to meander to center. Down the left wing goes O'Reilly. Gladiators are finally able to take the puck away. Cipollone over the red line. Disposes of it into Greenville ice. McNamee in pursuit. With some pressure on Mastrodomenico on the forecheck. The rookie fumbles it, loses it to Neely. Left wing, one across, and it's in! Gladiators with a strong forecheck take the lead. It's 3-2 with 4:49 left in the second. Looks like it's going to go to Neely. But they're able to shake down the rookie Mastrodomenico. I believe the cross-ice feed intended for Young hit the defenseman on the 2-on-1. Ended up going behind Seville. And the Gladiators, with back-to-back goals here in the second, have their first lead of the day. And that's Gladiators hockey. Eric Neely extends his point streak to technically 6 straight games. Had an assist in his last game last year against Florida. And now, in his first 5 games this year, 3 goals, 2 assists, 5 points. And so we will call it what it is, a 6-game heater for Eric Neely. Right wing shot. Ends up pinballing wide of Hyder. Orzek from the far corner lobs it ahead. Off the glass through center. Neely will give chase. That's 2 goals in the second period here for the Gladiators, and we can officially call it a second period surge. Percival to the right wing for Murphy. They get across to the left wing for Murray. At the left point, drops it deeper. Behind the net is Percival. Shadowed by Orzek. Puck makes its way to the right wing. Mastrodonato throws it in front, and Hyder's able to sprawl out to get on top of it. Ethan Hyder's having himself a day. Gladiators netminder on red alert. Knows that Keaton Mastrodonato is a lethal weapon. He's able to sprawl out once again to keep that puck out of the net and protect this Gladiators lead. Incredible stuff from the Gladiators. This is now their 24th multi-goal second period this season. We don't call it the second period surge for nothing, which is their best scoring period this season. Gladiators muscle out the center. Puck is scooped up by DeYoung. It's at right wing to Lovell. Walter applies some pressure on the forecheck. Swamp Rabbits whip it to the right wing. Gladiators stuff them on the zone entry. 3:35 left in the second period. And Greenville will look to break out again. DeYoung spins at his own blue line. Walter gets a stick on it. The Swede looking to shake him down, but DeYoung holds firm. It's caught in a bind in the neutral zone. Walter there again as well. Greenville lifts it to the blue line. Gladiators bat it away. This Atlanta defense doing such a great job of thwarting the Swamp Rabbits on these zone entries here in this second period. Jarvis ladles it out to the neutral zone, back to the Greenville Blue Liners. We'll try and solve this puzzle of this Gladiator structure here in the neutral zone. Orr intercepts a pass in neutral ice. Finds Davies left wing. Davies puts it around the net to Isley on the near wall. The former Buckeye returns it to Davies, who centers for Conroy. He'll cut to the net, drops it off for a shot, and Seville gets enough to keep it away. Conroy at the right point holds the zone, gives it to O'Brien at the half wall. Getting in front of that is Lovell. Ends up losing it in front. Gladiators try and stuff it in, but it ends up going wide. 2:24 left in the period. Puck makes its way to the line and eventually leaks out to neutral ice. O'Brien tries to cut back in. Left for Davies. He will shoot. That gets blocked. And I believe taking that one up high was Lovell for Greenville. He's slow to get up. Swamp Rabbits chuck it to the line. O'Brien's able to keep. Muscling out to center was Milburn, who springs Galt up the ice. And Lovell can't even get up to his feet. Tries to hobble to his own bench. Forced to stay in the play as Isley drags it right back in. Wheels it over to the far corner. Cipollone is there on his forehand. Leaves it for Denemy. Gladiators trying to take advantage of Lovell, who is clearly injured. Stuck out on the ice. Neely from the right wing finds Orzak. He'll center. Denemy slaps it across, but nobody was there back door. Gaudette keeps the zone at the left point. Pulls up at the high slot and shoots. Shot bounces wide of Seville. And Gladiators will watch as the puck goes out to center. I believe that actually stayed in the zone. Can't quite see right in front of me as some fans are walking in the area. And now the Swamp Rabbits do clear with 1:10 left in the second period. And now Atlanta ices the puck with 1:06 in the second frame. Yeah, I beg your pardon there. Some fans right in front of me just stood up, and I'm not the tallest guy in the world. I'd like to say that I'm 5'8", but my doctor says I'm 5'7", and probably on a worse day I'm 5'6", and so wasn't able to, even on my tippy toes, see over the crowd there here at the layout here at Bon Secours Wellness Arena. Now, you know what? I'm at least 5'7". I'll give myself that. Cipollone against Smirnov on the near circle. And off the draw, Sylvester's got it. Throws it right wing to Neely. Puck glances off his stick. Percival snatches it in the neutral zone. Under a minute left in the second period. Gladiators lead 3-2. Big crunch at center. Percival and Cipollone collide. Smirnov gains the red line, puts it on goal. Glove save Hyder, and with Smirnov looking to crash the crease there, Hyder makes the wise decision to freeze with 44 seconds on the clock. Well, what a turnaround it's been for the Gladiators here in this second period. We score twice to take the lead. They've outshot Greenville 11-9 after being outshot 14-8 in the first period, and this has been the script of the season for the Gladiators. This is how most of their games have gone. Slow first period, big second, and you do enough in the third to win, and they've done that 43 times so far this season. Incredible. Outlet pass, flagged down by Percival. From the left circle, tries to cut between the rings, and the Gladiators shake it away. Up the ice they go. Pass to Neely in open space, met by Masha Domenico in the far corner. The rookie defenseman for Greenville will take it away. 15 seconds left in the period. Gladiators looking to force a turnover with that forecheck, and they do. Walter shoots wide of the mark. Has it left wing, 6 seconds to go. Or a shot, gobbled up by Seville with 4 on the clock. Gladiators play into the final horn here. Looking to extend that lead to 2. Goals from Cipollone and Neely here in the second period have them ahead. Coming up next, the second intermission report. We'll break down the first 2 periods, look ahead to the third, talk some shop on our YouTube live chat, and a whole lot more coming up on the second intermission report, which we'll see in a moment as time runs out on the second period. Another second period surge for the Gladiators. Their 24th of the season has them up by 1 after 2. Gladiators have goals from less shorthanded. Cipollone and Neely in the second period have taken the lead for the first time today, and they look to close out this game in the third. Get their 44th victory of the season and etch a W into the win column before game number 1 of round number 1 on Friday night in North Charleston. Coming up next, the second intermission report from Greenville. We'll break down the first two periods, look ahead to the third, talk some shop here on a Sunday afternoon before we get set for the playoffs. All that coming up on the other side. Swamp Rabbits have outshot the Gladiators 23-20, but a monster second period has Atlanta ahead. It's 3-2 Gladiators when we come back.
Feels like everyone's trying to copy the $5 biggie bag. So how can you spot a knockoff? It won't taste like Wendy's. This job is easy. When the deal is as fresh as the meal, gotta be Wendy's.
Gotta be fresh. Sometimes life's collisions leave us feeling off balance. But at 100% Chiropractic, we know how to get you back on track.
We don't just straighten you out, we empower you. We educate you on how to get to the root cause and give you a play-by-play strategy on how to get you back to 100%. We even use lasers. Lasers! Our $49 first experience includes a complete set of comprehensive chiropractic x-rays, a fit 3D scan, and your first life-changing adjustment. Visit us and break the ice. Discover the power of chiropractic care at 100%.
When you need inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger. For thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals. And low prices that add up to big savings, like over $600 in digital coupons each week, and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Gwinnett Fire and Emergency Services is ready to answer the call, but we'd rather prevent them. Our free home safety survey includes checking smoke alarms, identifying common hazards, and reviewing your family's home escape plan. Schedule yours today.
Gladiators hold a 3-2 lead over the Greenville Swamp Rabbits after two periods of play here at Bon Secours Wellness Arena in upstate South Carolina. Gladiators have done it again. The second period surge is real, and it's back and better than ever. Gladiators with goals from Cipollone and Neely have found a way to take the lead for the first time today in a game that has been a spirited affair like none other that we've seen here in the I-85 rivalry. Both of these two teams have nothing really left to play for in terms of standings, playoff seedings, making or missing. Both teams know where they will finish. Swamp Rabbits are eliminated from postseason contention. This is their final game of the season here today. For the Gladiators, they are off to the Kelly Cup playoffs. They will finish as the third seed in the division. They will take on the second seed South Carolina Stingrays with game number 1 on Friday night in North Charleston. 7:05 puck drop, called a 6:45 pregame show on the Gladiators broadcast network on the Gladiators' first playoff game in just about 4 years. And so if you're not excited already, get excited, because it is a new era of Gladiators hockey led by Matt Ginn and Zach Fennell. And how good of a job has these two guys done with this team this season? And for Matt Ginn, for my money, he's got to be the front runner for Coach of the Year. I'll be severely disappointed if he isn't, because he has really found a way to bring this team back to the postseason and really into a winning era of Gladiators hockey. I think this is just the tip of the iceberg. As long as Matt Ginn is at the helm, I really feel like this team has the makings of being one of those perennial playoff contenders in the South Division. And that was one of the things that he talked about in our conversation earlier this week, which you can check out on our YouTube channel. He talked about, Florida, South Carolina, those two programs, those two clubs, those teams, those franchises being in the mix every single year. It seems like the top two in the division, Florida, South Carolina, in any order, year in, year out, those teams find a way to perennially be in the postseason, and he wants his team to be right back in the mix with them. It wants to be a top 3 every year. Florida, South Carolina, and Atlanta, and here in year number 1 under his guidance and his leadership, he's got them right there. third seed in the division. Talked about, first step was making the playoffs, establishing a winning culture. They've done that so far this season. And the second step is winning a Kelly Cup, something that this team has never done in its 23-year history. Gladiators back in the postseason for the first time since 2022, looking for its first playoff win and playoff series win since 2013. The Gladiators have been back to the postseason twice since then, as they got swept by the Jacksonville Icemen back in 2022 and by the Florida Everblades back in 2018, which, by the way, was the last time the Gladiators hosted a playoffs game at Gas South Arena. That streak will come to an end as we finally now know the playoff schedule for round number 1. Game 1 in North Charleston on Friday, April 24th, 7:05 puck drop. Again, 6:45 pregame show on YouTube and Flow Hockey. Be there or be squared. Love to see a lot of y'all make that trip to North Charleston, but understandably, if you can't, hopefully would see you there for Game 3 and Game 4, Gas South Arena, Monday and Tuesday night, 7:10 puck drop. You got to be there. Tell your ma, tell your pa, tell your friends, tell everybody that Gladiators playoff hockey is back. Let's pack the Coliseum. These guys have earned it with the way they've played all season long. I understand it's a weekday, but this is something that we haven't seen in a long, long time. You got to be there, and we hope to see you there. You can get your tickets if you haven't already by clicking the link in our YouTube live chat or heading to AtlantaGladiators.com. Secure your seats before they're gone. Round 1 of the Kelly Cup playoffs starts on Friday night. And so that kind of brings me back to what I want to segue into this from, is while this game doesn't necessarily mean anything to these two teams in terms of really the standings, the playoffs, certainly means a lot of something when it comes to pride and this rivalry. For my money, this rivalry is one of the best in the ECHL. It seems like no matter where these two teams are at with their seasons, the records, the standings, the time of year, no matter what, these two teams are going to show up to play against each other, and we've seen that here today. 3-2 game after 2 periods. Greenville not taking their foot off the gas. Gladiators aren't either with that big second period surge we'll talk about in a moment. And for the Gladiators, it feels like while they've won this game to this point with the 3-2 lead, there was a big loss back there in the second period, and we'll talk about that as we recap here the first 40 minutes. So it started with a Greenville 1-0 lead, 4:57 left in the first period. Greenville comes out guns a-blazing. They really dictate the terms and the pace there in the first period. They outshoot the Gladiators 14-8, and they get the first goal off the stick of Michael Mastrodomenico. It's a long-range shot. It ends up beating Hyder for the game's opening score. Gladiators do respond, though. They go to the penalty kill, which seemingly not good, but for this Gladiators team who scored 12 shorthanded goals this season now, it ends up proving well because Joey Cipollone with a strong forecheck sets up Brendan Less for the score. He gets his first shorty of the season, becomes the Gladiators' 10th skater this year to score a shorthanded goal. Incredible. Makes it a 1-1 tie after 1. To the second period we go. Greenville back in front as Ethan Hyder tries to play the puck right off of a 4-on-4. I believe it was Orr and DeYoung who were both released from the box as DeYoung was hurtling towards the goal. Hyder likes to roll the dice, comes out to play that puck in no man's land, ends up hitting DeYoung right in the belly, and he'll take it to the house for the score. And that play only happens because of that loss that I alluded to earlier in the intermission show. So Brett Bulmer ends up taking a tough check right in the neutral zone along the near side boards. Was just trying to squeeze his way through center to set up a Gladiators offensive zone attack, and ends up getting crunched, and he goes down and doesn't get back up. And this is a tough loss for the Gladiators. They lose a veteran forward in Brett Bulmer, a guy that they expected to have through this playoff run, and he gets up and he's not able to put any weight on his left leg. And we don't want to speculate any further, but Bulmer has not returned to the game since after going off to the locker room, and hopefully he is going to be all right. We'll keep him in our thoughts and prayers, but tough to see a guy go down there in a meaningless game for the Gladiators here today. And so hopefully for Bulmer, he's able to make a quick recovery and be back for the postseason, if not later on in this game. But that was the only reason that 4-on-4 ensued as the Gladiators stuck up for their teammate, rightfully so. Ended up with Orr and DeYoung in the box. And when both of those two were released, that set up the go-ahead goal from DeYoung. But the Gladiators bend but don't break. They score the next two. Joey Cipollone, moments later with 8:44 left in the period, ends up scoring his 17th of the season, making it a multi-point affair for him here today. make it a 2-2 tie. Cipollone strong on it, able to poke a stick from around the net as the puck was settling down on the goal line. Thought Greenville might be able to sweep it out, but Cipollone says, nah. He's able to jab it in to tie the game, and then Eric Neely, with 4:49 left in the second period, had a 2-on-1 develop off of a strong forecheck. Neely tries to jab it across to Young on a 2-on-1, ends up hitting the defender between those two and going to the back of the net. Neely extends his point streak to 5 games this season. 6 games if you count his last game that he played last year for the Gladiators, in which he had an assist. So the Gladiators are firing on all cylinders, it seems. It's another second period surge. It is the 24th time this season the Gladiators have scored 2 or more goals in the second period, and they do it to take the lead. And so the Gladiators also have a shorthanded goal on the board. Things are going well for the Gladiators. We'll see if they can close it out in the third period. Etch a W into the win column. Get some momentum heading off to North Charleston on Friday night for Game 1 of the 2026 Kelly Cup playoffs. More to come here on the second intermission report. We'll look ahead to the third period a little bit more. We'll also take a peek and see what our fans have got going on here today, as we like to extend a big thank you to everybody watching at our watch party at Aloft Hotels, the official hotel partner of the Atlanta Gladiators, and everybody who's in attendance making the trip from Atlanta to Greenville here today. Bit of a 2-hour drive from Duluth to Greenville. Looks like a lot of our fans made the trip. A lot of them in Section 101 scattered throughout the concourse here and the stands at Bon Secours Wellness Arena. These fans travel, and they travel well. Come out in droves to support the Gladiators. Big thank you to everybody who's shown up here today. We'll talk all about it and a little bit more on the other side of the break here as the second intermission report continues on. Atlanta 3, Greenville 2. We're back after this.
It's game day and Bucky's ready for action. From the moment he pulls up, it's all smiles, high fives, and Beaver Toyota pride. A quick stop for snacks and he's game ready. The energy in the arena starts to build because when Beaver Toyota and the Gladiators team up, the fun and excitement never stop. Catch Bucky at the next Gladiators game or visit us anytime at beavertoyotacoming.com.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in, and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, and partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
Need to build a professional brand? Alpha Graphics delivers with stunning signage, graphics, and marketing materials that are exactly what you need to earn clients' trust. Alpha Graphics. Bring your brand to life.
Life's too short for ordinary whiskey. Make it infamous. Now available at Mega Package Store, 2820 Lawrenceville, Sewanee, Oregon, 4 miles from Gas South Arena.
Gwinnett Fire and Emergency Services is ready to answer the call, but we'd rather prevent them. Our free home safety survey includes checking smoke alarms, identifying common hazards, and reviewing your family's home escape plan. Schedule yours today.
Gladiators lead the Swamp Rabbits 3-2 after 2 periods of play. We are approaching third period action here in Greenville, and it's going to be the final third period of the regular season, but for the Gladiators, the train doesn't stop here. We'll keep rolling to North Charleston on Friday night. Stingrays have wrapped up their regular season slate with their wins on Friday and Saturday night over Savannah and Orlando. They clinched the second seed in the division, which has the Gladiators going to North Charleston as the 3 seed in the division for game number 1 against South Carolina on Friday night. And, you know, got to talking to Matt Ginn earlier in the week. Again, that interview available to listen to on our YouTube channel. Make sure you smash like and subscribe if you haven't already. And, you know, one of the questions I asked him was, coming into the season, and the Gladiators knew it, Matt Ginn knew it, nobody had the Atlanta Gladiators pegged as a playoff team. And so they have defied the expectations. They are postseason bound, and I asked him, do you see yourselves as underdogs heading into this postseason? I mean, coming into the year, the expectations were low for this group. You're able to defy that odds. Seems like, once again, a lot of teams are counting out the Atlanta Gladiators. Do you guys see yourselves as underdogs? And he said, no. The guys in the room, no, they don't. And the Gladiators know fully well what they're capable of. Again, he said step 1 was making the postseason. Step 2 is going to run and win the Kelly Cup. And this is something that he wants to make an annual thing. He doesn't want it to just be a one-off, and the Gladiators, again, go 3 years without postseason appearances. No, he wants to be a perennial playoff contender. And again, all the credit to Matt Ginn, Zach Vanell, and this group to getting this team to where they're at this season. It's been a fantastic year. I know for a lot of Gladiators fans, they've told us all year long that this is the most fun that they've had in years supporting this team. And so it's been a fun ride, and I'm glad to be a part of it myself. And so we'll keep on rolling to North Charleston on Friday night for game number 1. And these Gladiators, who they've been disrespected at times by many around league circles, do not see themselves as underdogs. They know exactly what they are, and they're going to be a tough out in the Kelly Cup playoffs. That's for sure, and they've certainly made things tough for the Greenville Swamp Rabbits so far here today. So back in the first intermission report, talked about how the Gladiators are best when they play with the lead. Well, here they are. They lead by 2 after 2 periods of play, thanks to that second period surge, and the numbers speak for themselves. The Gladiators, when leading after 2 this season, 31-1-1. But there is a wrench in that situation, that 1-1 right in the middle. That one regulation loss when leading after 2 did come at the hands of the Greenville Swamp Rabbits back on April 3rd at Gas South Arena, when ended up being a 3-2 Greenville win. So this one is not done yet. We still got some more fun to be had here at Bon Secours Wellness Arena, but that's the key word there, fun. And that's what we're having here on the final game of the regular season. Checking in our YouTube live chat here before we start the third. Thank you to everybody who has tuned in all season long and commented here today. And once again, congratulations to Justin Burke. I don't know if you heard us back on Fan Appreciation Night, me and Andrew Fleming, but we did crown Justin Burke the YouTube Commenter of the Year, showing up early every single game to comment, consistent all year long, always cheering on the Glads. Justin Burke, thank you so much, man. You have been nominated and awarded Commenter of the Year from the Gladiators broadcast crew. Lynette in the house here today, over in section 101. Good to see you earlier on the concourse here today. Saw a number of Glads fans on the concourse later today. Good to see a lot of y'all making the trip to Greenville and hopefully North Charleston this weekend. Could be a lot of fun, playoff hockey, and Charleston is Charleston. Charleston is fun too. You know what else is fun? Third period action between the Gladiators and the Swamp Rabbits. We have it on deck. That'll do it for the second intermission report. Gladiators 3, Swamp Rabbits 2. Both teams out on the ice to start the third. Gladiators wearing their white jerseys with blue numbers and Gladiator gold trim will skate from right to left. Swamp Rabbits with the Rabbits dancing off in the distance, wearing their blue jerseys with orange numbers and white trim. Skate from left to right. Gladiators win the opening faceoff to start the third. Jarvis from the left wing whips the puck in. It'll carry him around to the right wing where pressuring is Isley. Connects with Davies in the near corner. Gets checked by Mastro Domenico, but stays on his feet. Scrambles his way to the right wing. Looks to center. Hits a stick and skips out the center. Jarvis will track it down with Murphy in hot pursuit. Andrew Jarvis, the former Allen American, jabs it out to the neutral zone where Isley will shuffle it in. Gladiators get a wholesale change here as on comes McNamee, Walter, and Roost. Remember, the Gladiators still down a forward as it appears Brett Bulmer is still not on the Gladiators bench. Walter surges to the net, tries to power through. Puck rolls off his stick at the last second to the far corner. Roost behind the net on his forehand. Makes his way to the wall, tries to send it to the line, but goes by Conroy and will skip down a hider. Gladiators goaltender will play it for Conroy. The Yale product tries to sidestep this forecheck put on by Brackett. It'll glide ahead for an icing with 1:12 gone by in the third period. Face off on the near circle to the left of Hyder. Roost will take this draw against Patrick Polino, who is a veteran forward in this league, been around a long time, 10th year of professional hockey for him. He wins the draw to Prouty, who stuffs it in the near corner. Les is able to pick it free, and Gladiators quickly emerge up ice. McNamee ahead to Walter with some speed, cuts by Prouty and centers behind Roost. Puck will carry him out the center. Gladiators really turned the tide in terms of momentum and pace of play about midway through that second period as they ice the puck again. Cipollone and then Neely scored, and Gladiators take a 3-2 lead. And that really is the mark of a team that is going to be a tough team to bounce out in the Kelly Cup playoffs. And that series against the Stingrays is going to be must-watch television, that's for sure. And if you're not watching on your TV, you better be at Gas South Arena. I'll tell you that much. And off the ensuing faceoff, puck goes right into the gullet of Gaudet, who gets dragged down in the near corner. Greenville has the puck. Orzek lifts it into the air, and they're going to say that that's play with a high stick, and they'll put that play to rest. The Swamp Rabbit tried to shoot that puck on goal right out the draw, and thankfully Gaudet in the right area to block that. Kind of just took it right in the logo and got dragged down in the corner. That's another pickup that's been great for the Gladiators. And, kudos to Matt Gitt and Zach Vanel for finding these guys. And that's another thing that I asked him about earlier this week is just where in the world do you find these sensational rookies? A lot of scouting is what he said. The job doesn't end with just the on-ice product. You also got to be looking for guys to join your team. And again, big credit to him for finding these types of players that seemingly just find a way to inject themselves into the lineup and act like they've been here all year long. At center circle, Young battling with Polino. Puck pulled away by Brackett, and Greenville will have control. Prouty to Brackett along the left wing, feeds it to the right, back to Polino. The veteran finds Brackett once more, barreling down the right wing, tries to cut in tight. Jarvis ends up going hard into the end wall with Brackett. Both are slow to get up as Jarvis made the defensive play. On the left wing, Greenville keeps it in the zone. They'll feed it to the right. An active stick from Sylvester breaks up the pass. He'll take it out to center. The captain knocks it back to Orr. D to D for Conroy fresh off the bench. Gladiators changing personnel here as Cipollone, Walter, and Denemy come on. Seems like Walter has spent some time on this fourth line here today in the absence of Brett Bulmer. A pass at left wing to Denemy over the attacking line. Centers for Cipollone, who jabs it towards the goal. DeYoung gets a stick on it as it sputters to the trapezoid. Walter on his backhand centers. Cipollone tied up with DeYoung. Watches the puck rolls out to center. Les and Conroy will track it down. Les ahead to Denemy. Up the ice to Walter. Quick feed to the left wing for Cipollone. They'll throw it into the far corner for Denemy, who swats at it. Puck taken away by the Swamp Rabbits. They'll put it to center. On the move is Zeri. Conroy gets taken down by Zeri on the near wall. Gladiators are able to repossess as Conroy springs back up to his feet. Feathers it right wing in hopes of finding Isley. Pass goes astray. It ends up going down as an icing with 16:16 on the clock. So another faceoff back down near Ethan Hyder. And it appears here in this game that while we've seen that first line at times here today, Sylvester, Young, and Neely, not as much as we've seen in games past this season. Seems like their ice time really has been limited here today in a game where, as I mentioned before, there's not really anything at stake for the Gladiators. And especially after seeing Bulmer go down, and try and keep your top guys off the ice as much as possible to avoid any potential injuries. And so that's probably the reason why we haven't seen a whole lot of Sylvester, Neely, and Young. And even out of all that, Neely ended up scoring a goal here today. Greenville with it through center. Percival charging towards the net as it knifed away. Isley from the far wing scans his options, puts it ahead to Orzek, who finds Gaudet left wing. Back the other way to Isley into attacking territory. Tries to collect it in the far corner. Greenville gets a body on him. Puck will leak into open space. They'll slam it ahead to Murphy. It's the backside of his skate at the Gladiator blue line where Gaudet will control. A feather at left wing for O'Brien. Over the blue line. Throws it around the horn to the far wall. Isley is there. Left for Davies. Snapshot is stopped. Isley on the rebound. Just puts it wide. Isley looking for his fourth pro goal there. Tried to make it 4-2, but Seville able to take away the angle, as Isley couldn't put in the rebound off the initial shot by Davies. Mastrodonato from the right wing. Leaves it for Shea. Tries to walk the line. Somehow keeps it in. Finds Berg left wing, defended by McNamee. He'll take him to the wall. Gladiators jam it free. Walter on the run. One-on-one with Mastrodomenico. Surges towards the goal. He'll go around it to the near wall. Try and throw it to the line. Hits O'Hara. Now it's a 3-on-2 for Greenville. Mastrodonato left for Brackett. Back to the Maestro. He will center. Looking for Brackett again. Gladiators had him tied up. Good play by Roost. McNamee slings it to his own blue line, but it doesn't go out. But it hit the linesman. Charging to the net is O'Hara. Puts a backhand shot wide. Now at the left point, it is Prouty. Cross to DeYoung. Quick touch inside. O'Hara has it scrubbed off his stick. Walter and Roost in the vicinity. Gladiators poke it to center with 14:15 left in the third. Polino plunges down the middle. Puck bounces to the far wall. Good takeaway by Young. Hurls it ahead for Neely. Return to Young right wing. Over the attacking line. Slows down a bit. On his forehand, shuffles it deeper, looking for Conroy. Greenville gets him in a turnstile, but he's somehow able to slink free. Tries to leave it for Sylvester, who turned 34 on April 13th. So happy belated birthday to the captain. But all in all, the Swamp Rabbits are able to emerge out to neutral ice. Brackett down the middle, has it scrubbed off his stick. Sylvester takes it in motion. 3-on-2 if they hurry. Sylvester has it poked off of his stick upon entry. He'll find Conroy left wing in open space. From the circle, he will shoot. He scores! Ryan Conroy with a left circle snipe makes it 4-2 Atlanta. Conroy has his 5th of the year, and the Gladiators have the biggest lead of the day. Cody Sylvester factors in with the primary assist. Was stuffed on the initial entry. Was unfazed, the veteran. The slingshot Conroy down the left wing in open space. Left circle missile from the Yale product. Makes it a 4-2 game. Puck goes out of play on the ensuing shift. Now we will pause for a moment. The Gladiators up by 2. 13:08 left in the third. Gladiators on their way, looking for their 44th victory of the season. We're back for more third period action after this from our local partners.
It's game day and Bucky's ready for action. From the moment he pulls up, it's all smiles, high fives, and Beaver Toyota pride. A quick stop for snacks and he's game ready. The energy in the arena starts to build because when Beaver Toyota and the Gladiators team up, the fun and excitement never stop. Catch Bucky at the next Gladiators game or visit us anytime at beavertoyotacoming.com.
Ryan Conroy's latest tally has made it 4-2 Atlanta off of his 5th goal of the year. Conroy now a goal and 2 assists in his last 4 games. As both he and Brendan Less have goals from the blue line for the Gladiators here today. Mastrodomenico at the right point takes a shot blocked in front by his own man in Milburn. And the Gladiators will float it to center where Cipollone tried to angle it to Isley. Gains the attacking line, stumbles a bit. Puck taken away by Mastrodomenico. Enemy in the far corner looks to get it back. Jams it inside where it's taken back by Berg. Over the red line, gains the attacking line, pulls up the point, sends it across. Left wing shot, eaten up by Hyder with 12:28 left in the third. Quick developing play for the Swamp Rabbits, but Ethan Hyder once again comes up with a big save. Cody Sylvester had the lone assist on Conroy's goal and now extends his point streak to 3 games. A goal and 3 assists in that span. Did not play on Saturday in Jacksonville, so that streak dates all the way back to the game prior, which was that 4-3 loss to Orlando on Fan Appreciation Night. Davies to the neutral zone for O'Brien. Over the attacking line, rips it into Greenville ice. Greenville with control, throws it to the red line. Pass right wing for Murphy, goes away from the intended target. No icing as Hyder slows it down. Murphy behind the net, gathers it again. Centers for a shot. That goes wide off the stick of Percival. Now Jarvis behind his own net, tries to outlet the puck to Davies. Puck skips off his stick for a long shot. Another glove save by Hyder. He'll hang on this time with 11:52 to go in the third. Oh boy, this has got to give you a lot of enthusiasm for postseason hockey. With the way the Gladiators have played here today, and really the way they've rallied after that first period where Greenville really had a hop in their step, pun intended. There's a lot to love about the way the Gladiators have played here today. Gladiators win a defensive zone face-off. McNamee on the near side boards, ends up losing an edge. Prouty steps in to gather the puck, tries to jam his way towards the net, but Conroy puts an end to that. From the right wing, Les will scoot it ahead. Slingshotting Roost into action was Walter. Roost slinks his way to the corner, spins it around to the left point for Conroy. Surfs the line, feeds it back into the far corner. McNamee to Roost behind the cage. Prouty in the area as well, gets a stick on it. McNamee as well, throws it up top. Les ended up drifting out of the zone, delayed offside, and the Gladiators will touch up. We're going to say that it was an intentional offside, so they're going to take this face-off all the way to the Gladiator zone. 11:14 left in the third period. Face-off will be to the right of Hyder. Roost will take this face-off against O'Hara. And the Swamp Rabbit the victor. At the left point, Walter throws a check on DeYoung. Swamp Rabbits defenseman able to hang on, cuts to the slot, shot pinballs wide. Behind the net, it is Conroy kicking the puck to his stick, finding Les right wing. Over the attacking line, brushes it right wing to Walter. Checked by Mastrodonato. Both guys go down. Puck will end up trickling behind the net. It'll be handled by the Swamp Rabbits. Shea outlets up the ice to O'Hara. Gaudette cuts him off in the trapezoid and is able to take the puck away. Gaudette, lefty move over his own line to find Young up the ice. Rips a shot over the cage, hits the glass in the back of the net. Gladiators fight for it there as they try and jumble in front. Puck is swept to the far wall and taken on the run by O'Reilly. Tries to pass right wing to Polino. Gaudette gets in front of it. Has Sylvester ahead, who leaves it for Neely. Right circle shot. Glove save Seville. He'll hang on with 10:14 left in the third. That first line will stay on. Sylvester, Neely, and Young. Orr and Jarvis are the two blue liners. Face off to the left of Seville. Young against Polino. Young having a monster season. Gladiators leading point scorer. 27 goals, 32 assists, 59 points in 71 games prior. Sylvester wraps it around to the trapezoid off the face-off victory from Young. He will now battle for it in the near corner. Tries to throw it from low to high. O'Reilly's able to cut that pass off and take it to neutral ice, where it gets lifted into the penalty box on the visitor side with 9:55 to go in regulation. And the Gladiators will trot out Cipollone, Denemy, and McNamee. And still no Brett Bulmer after taking that hit back in the second period. And we hope that he's going to end up being all right. And hopefully is ready for game 1 on Friday. Shot count 25-24. Favor of Greenville in this game. At one point, it was a pretty wide margin for the Swamp Rabbits. Just down to 1. Masha Domenico looking up ice. Leaves it for his D partner, Tim Lovell. Over the red line. Now Gladiator blue. Lovell to Polino, right wing. Back the other way, looking for O'Reilly. Puck deflected wide. Now Denemy takes it in at center circle. Feeds it right wing to McNamee. Delayed offside on the Gladiators. Greenville will take it away. Lovell once again threads it ahead for O'Reilly. Less able to cut him off on the near boards. Got to spring it out. Gets it to his D partner Conroy, who spins in the near corner, scans his options, and will take it out to center himself. Over the logo, gains the attacking line from the right wing. Creeps his way into the corner. Conroy still with the puck. Tries to jam it to Davies. Berg gets in front of it, and Greenville will carry. Prouty out to neutral ice. Tried to thread it across. Hit the backside of O'Brien and boomerang back to the defender. Now Greenville will take a little bit longer to think its next move out. They'll emerge to center once more. Passing right wing into the corner for Milburn. He will center. On the doorstep was Zeri. Hyder able to keep it out. They move from low to high. Prouty across to Berg. Back to Prouty from the high slot. Tries to stutter away from Davies and shoots. It gets blocked and tumbles into the near corner. Gaudette there along with Les. Will punch it to the far wall. Isley out to neutral ice. Gets squashed along the boards by Galt. O'Brien able to hang on to the puck for Atlanta with 8:05 left in regulation. Now Les will need the next Gladiators breakout. Up ahead to McNamee. He'll direct the puck into the near corner as the Gladiators complete a partial change. Walter in the near corner looks to center. Held to the outside by Percival. McNamee and Walter dig for it at the end wall. Shadowed by DeYoung and Murray. Those two Gladiators poking and probing for it. Roost in the area as well. It's right in the thick of it. Tries to spin it out of the pile. Taking it free is Percival. Greenville on the run. Give and go through center. Slingshots Percival one-on-one. Stopped by Hyder. Oh, what a stop. Maybe his biggest and best of the day. Ends up shutting down the rookie Percival one-on-one with 7:22 to go in regulation. What a statement day from Ethan Hyder. Makes another sensational stop. We're back for more third period action after this from our local partners.
More than just cookies.
Desserts now in rotation.
It's game day and Bucky's ready for action. From the moment he pulls up, it's all smiles, high fives, and Beaver Toyota pride. A quick stop for snacks and he's game ready. The energy in the arena starts to build because when Beaver Toyota and the Gladiators team up, the fun and excitement never stop. Catch Bucky at the next Gladiators game or visit us anytime at beavertoyotacoming.com.
Gladiators Hockey is brought to you by Zivil Performance and Recovery. Zivil Performance and Recovery is the official recovery partner of the Atlanta Gladiators. With cryotherapy, infrared sauna, red light compression, float and oxygen therapy, Zivil helps reduce inflammation, speed recovery, and boost energy. Zivil, train hard, recover smarter, and perform like a Gladiator every day. Gladiators have certainly put together a good one in this one. 4-2 lead as we approach 7 minutes to go. Smirnov at the red line. Rose into Gladiator ice. It'll skip into the near corner. Jarvis gets a piece of it. Up ahead, but not out. Young gets in front of a long shot by DeYoung, and then we get out to center. Not much more. Greenville repossesses. This time they will scoot the puck into the far corner where it's gathered by Orr. They'll connect with Jarvis left wing. Up ahead to Sylvester. They'll chuck it into the far corner. Scrambling after it is Neely. Greenville able to keep it away to the near side. Mastromato up the ice to O'Hara. Right wing to Shea. Puts it on goal. Kick save and the rebound. Sent wide and out of play. And Hyder got spun around on that play, but was able to make a nice dandy of a kick save. Keep that one out. What a day he has had. He stopped 26 of 28 to this point. Seville, 20 of 24. Gladiators hockey is brought to you by Freddy's. Spice it up at Freddy's by trying the new Mike's Hot Honey Chicken Sandwich or Chicken Tenders and the new Molten Chocolate Cake Shake. Check it all out at Freddy's at 2230 Peachtree Industrial Boulevard. Swamp Rabbits win the offensive zone draw. At the right point, it is Shea. Puck taken away. Gladiators twist it to center. Siplin from the red line bangs it on goal. Save made by Seville. Puck available on the far wall. Out of the corner, Roost by Cipolone to the near side. Reeled in by Shea. Checked hard by Denemy. Puck available at center. Roost has got it. Tries to surge in on the left wing. Boxed out by Mastrodomenico. Puck leaks to the trapezoid. Denemy throws a check and leaves it for Roost. On his forehand, sent down to his knees. Tried to find some help. Cipolone is there. Out of the near corner, he and Roost get it to Conroy. He will look to center, throws it towards the net, and it ends up getting swept away by Mastrodonato and company. Les forced to backtrack into his own zone. Mastrodonato shadowing. 5:30 left in the third period as Conroy will hold behind Hyder. Gladiators get a change in forwards as Isley hits the ice. He takes it in on the left wing and springs into action. Adam Isley pulls up at the left circle, drops it deeper behind the net to Davies. In his Gladiators debut, on his forehand, climbs up to the right point, turns and shoots. Shot whistles wide of Seville. Now in the near corner, bracket pressure by O'Brien. They'll scoot it to the far. Davies gets a piece of it, kicks it to Isley. Caught in a bind, a board battle ensues. Along the far wall, Davies sticking with it. Tries to jab it to Isley, but the Swamp Rabbits are able to take it away. From center, Prouty comes barreling in. Down the middle, cuts in tight. Taken away by Orzek and sent to the outside. Swamp Rabbits on their own error at the line. Fumble, have to backtrack to center. 4:30 left in the third period. Gladiators lead by 2. O'Reilly at the right wing. Has it skip off his stick. Gaudette trying to keep him there. Sees the puck roll to Jarvis. He'll emerge from behind Hyder. Brush it to Gaudette. And on his backhand, he will swoop out to the right wing and lead this next Gladiators charge. Gaudette down the middle. Feathers it right wing. Walter shoots. Blocked. Galt get in front of it. Trying to send Zeri ahead. Jarvis intercepts and twists it to Roost. Over the attacking line. Looks to center. Instead pots it in the near corner to McNamee. He's able to jab it back to Roost. Up top to Jarvis. Takes a check. Puck bouncing between the circles. Roost, right circle, shoots. Save made by Seville. He'll steer it into the far corner where it's snatched up and sent out to center. Jarvis gets in front of that outlet pass and drags it on the left side. Puts it on goal. Another save by Seville. Gladiators try and keep the zone, but barreling by Young is Percival. Left wing pass, taken away by Young. Stuck with the play, now takes it on the attack. Feeds it left wing to Sylvester, back the other way to Neely. Off his stick, pulls up along the far wall, sends it deeper looking for a Young, but it's cut off by Lovell. Now behind the net, it is Mastrodomenico. Feeding right wing to Lovell. In neutral ice, left wing to Percival. Stuffed at the Gladiator blue line, 2:55 to play. Smirnov from the right wing gains the attacking line, pulls up, looks to throw it to a trailer, but nobody was home. Swamp Rabbits forced to track it down. Lovell will lead the next charge. Puck rolls off his stick. Isley's got it from the right wing, tries to cut to the goal, but Lovell got back, create a takeaway. Murphy up ahead. Les is able to take it away. Conroy on the left wing. Rolls it from corner to corner. Icing on the Gladiators with 2:12 on the clock. Glads fans, download the Gladiators Game Day app to stay up to date with all the latest news, content, and scores. Purchase and manage your tickets within the app, shop merch, and more. Available for download on the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. And that Gladiators Game Day app is going to come in handy, especially in that first round playoff series. It's the Swiss Army knife of apps, really. You can do a whole bunch of things in that Gladiators Game Day app. Face off to the right of Hyder. Cipollone will take it. Net is empty. Seville to the bench, 6-on-5 for Greenville. So the Swamp Rabbits go for broke, trying to get one last win in front of their home fans this season. Gladiators looking to make a statement, heading into Game 1 in North Charleston. Isley jams it out to center, met by Mastronato. Left for Denemy, looking to the empty cage, but he couldn't get a shot away. Smirnov got to him on the back check. 1:45 to play. Prouty from the right wing. Gains the red line, wraps it to Mastronato. Quick give and go to O'Hara. He gets met in the near corner by Les. O'Hara hanging tight, gets it to the line, bounces by Prouty. Isley through the neutral zone and all the way down. Ends up icing the puck with 1:25 to play. This next faceoff will be to the right of Hyder, who, should he lead the Gladiators to victory today, move into third place on the Gladiators' single-season wins record among goaltenders with his 24th. He is 85 seconds away from securing that. On the far corner, Greenville's got it. They look to center. Gladiators box it away and ship it the length of the ice. That will be another icing with 74 seconds to go. Shot count 28-27 in favor of the Swamp Rabbits, but where it counts, Gladiators have got them. 4-2 lead for Atlanta. And I almost wonder if Ethan Hyder gets a chance at that empty net. Will he take it? You've seen these Gladiators goaltenders try a time or two this season. Gladiators have never scored a goalie goal in their franchise's history. Puck leaks out to center. Isley on the hunt. Looks to take it away from Mastrodomenico, but he's able to get back to it and leave it to Mastrodonato. Dragging it in is O'Hara. Feathers left wing for Mastrodonato. Out of the corner, puts it up top. Mastrodomenico to Lovell for a shot. Blocked by Denemy. He'll look for the empty cage, and he will score! Carson Denemy puts the cherry on top. Gladiators lead 5-2 with 49 seconds to go. 4 unanswered goals from these Gladiators have led them to what is going to be their 44th victory of the season. And if that is not an exclamation mark on an incredible season, I don't know what is. Denemy's got his 9th of the year. Empty net tally to make it 5-2. 40 seconds to go in the regular season. Prouty charges down the left wing, leaves it for Polino. Snapshot goes wide of Hyder. Galt tries to tuck it in. Hyder is able to slam that door shut as Davies spins it to center. Young from the logo spits it to the left wing. 22 seconds left. He'll sputter back into Gladiator ice. Orzek off the stick of Davies and in, and it hits a Swamp Rabbit on the bench. They'll stop the clock with 15.3 to go. Shot count tied at 28. The latest from Denemy on the Gladiators side has extended their lead to 3. Gladiators win the ensuing draw. Godet dumps it in. It'll be grabbed by Prouty behind the net. Flushed out to the right wing. Polino takes in the pass. Feeds it to the left. Up ahead, Milburn a drive. He will score with 0.8 of a second left. It is Milburn scoring for Greenville. Looks like that's his first professional goal to make it 5-3. Well, I mean, all things considered, they will end up dropping this puck, and the Gladiators will win, and that is all. Strange way to end the regular season, but the Atlanta Gladiators finish on a high note. 5-3 win in Greenville. To cap off the regular season, the Gladiators finish with a record of 44, 23, 4-1. And with all the momentum, take it to Game 1 in North Charleston on Friday night. Ethan Hyder picks up his 24th win of the season. That is the 3rd best season for a goaltender in terms of wins in Gladiators franchise history. And the Gladiators are off to the Kelly Cup playoffs, victorious in their final regular season game. We'll just go right into the post-game show here. This was a win that I think silenced a lot of doubters. And I think a lot of the noise that had surrounded this team over the last couple of weeks was warranted. The Gladiators really didn't look like themselves, especially during that 5-game losing streak. There had been things that had hampered them that became themes, like allowing shorthanded goals, bad first periods, poor special teams, but none of that here today for the Gladiators. They end up really righting the ship in really almost all of those aspects here today with a statement win in Greenville with a 5-3 final score. And now they are riding in on to North Charleston Coliseum for Friday night's game number 1 in their postseason return on a high note with a win in Greenville. Here's how it all shook out. In the first period, Swamp Rabbits were the better team. They were dictating the pace. They were dictating the pace of the play, and they scored the first goal. Masher Domenico, his first pro goal from O'Hara and Shea with 4:57 left in the first period. Swamp Rabbits worked the puck in deep, got it to the trailer, Masher Domenico, who scored from the right point to make it 1-0. Gladiators hung tight, though, especially going to the penalty kill, as Joey Cipollone on the forecheck was able to create a turnover. Centered to Les, the trailer, who scored to make it 1-1 with the shorthanded tally. It was the Gladiators' 12th shorthanded goal this season, and Les, the 10th different Gladiators skater to score a shorty this season. So it was 1-1 after 1. Greenville took the lead back as there was some 4-on-4 action after a apparent injury to Brett Bulmer that resulted in a skirmish with Orr and DeYoung in the box. Nobody scored on the 4-on-4, but as soon as those two were released, the puck was sent to no man's land between the circles with those two rushing for it out of the box. Hyder elected to try and come out to play the puck, ended up throwing it right into the body of DeYoung, who was able to take it to the house, scoring to make it 2-1 Greenville. Little did they know that it would end up being a 4-goal run of unanswered goals for the Gladiators to take a commanding 5-2 lead as the second period surge returns. Cipollone gets the Gladiators back on the board to tie the game with 8:44 left in the second from Denemy and Walter. Puck was loose on the goal line. Cipollone punches it in to make it a 2-2 tie, followed by a goal from Eric Neely. Tried to send the puck cross ice on a 2-on-1. Instead, hit the defender and went to the back of the net with 4:49 left in the second. Neely extends his point streak to technically 6 straight games, 5 if you're just counting this season. makes it 3-2 Gladiators, and they did not relinquish that lead. They scored twice more in the third period. Conroy with a left circle snipe with 13:24 left in the period, and then with 49.7 seconds left in the regular season, Carson Denemy scores an empty netter to make it 5-2, and then a parting gift from Connor Milburn with 0.8 of a second left makes it a 5-3 final score at Bon Secours Wellness Arena. Gladiators end up going 0 for 1 on the power play, 2 for 2 on the penalty kill, including that shorthanded goal from Brendan Less. And all things considered, we will say that the Gladiators won the special teams battle here today in Greenville, and they end up almost outshooting the Swamp Rabbits with strong play in the final 40 minutes after being outshot 14-8. Gladiators outshot the Swamp Rabbits 12-9 in the second period and 7-6 in the third. Final count comes out to 29 for Greenville and 28 for Atlanta. But I think in this game, there was a lot to like. And in the first period, Gladiators didn't have the lead after one, and they certainly didn't play their best hockey in the first period, but it really hasn't been their forte all season long. They're one of those teams that really likes to analyze their opponent, play a strong defensive game. It seems like they really heat up in the final 40 minutes. That theme did not change here today. Gladiators tied 1-1 after one. End up going on a 4-goal run after the Young goal en route to the victory. And you've got to like the way that the Gladiators' depth showed up here today. Really, every aspect of the lineup, guys showed up. And I think there was a question mark on that for the Gladiators over the last couple of weeks, too, was, would they show up when it mattered, especially in a game like this where I think the expectation coming in was, what were you going to get out of this Gladiators team? It was a meaningless game for them. The first game all season long where they weren't playing for anything. They'd already secured their spot in this postseason. They knew where they were going to finish. And what are we going to get here today? Well, it was a full, complete effort from these Gladiators, and it certainly is a welcome sight to see, especially with the way that they played over the last couple of weeks. They've been up and down, inconsistent, but they really put the exclamation point on their season here today with what was an all-around good team victory in just about every aspect of the game. Gladiators get goals from 5 different goal scorers, 2 of them defensemen. Joey Cipollone and Carson Denemy chime in, who are both on the 4th line here today. And Eric Neely on the 1st line that didn't see a whole lot of ice time in a game like this where you don't want those guys to get injured. He ends up scoring, and he's once again back on the stat sheet. And I thought Austin Roost and Josh Davies both played strong in their return. And when Roost returned to the lineup and Davies in his Gladiators debut, those are going to be 2 weapons for the Gladiators in that series against the Stingrays that is going to be an absolute treat to watch. But I think the biggest storyline of the day has got to be Ethan Hyder, right? I mean, back in that first period, the Gladiators were under siege a little bit, and Hyder kept him in this game. It's not a 1-1 tie after one without the strong play of Ethan Hyder. And it's going to be interesting to see who Matt Ginn turns to for game number 1 on Friday. Hyder or Semptim-Felter. I mean, either way, both guys are going to give you a great chance to win. It's the best goaltending tandem in the ECHL this season. And it is a luxury that the Gladiators have. And talking to Coach Ginn earlier in the week, didn't reveal his hand one way or the other where he might go in terms of, will it be a bona fide starter through the playoff series, or will it be a rotational basis like we've seen so far this season between Hyder and Semptim-Felter? Either way, it's a good problem for him to have. He has got a luxury on his hands in terms of who's between the pipes, whether it's Hyder, Semptim-Felter. Gladiators are going to have a shot to win Game 1, and they've got a shot to go far in the Kelly Cup playoffs because of their strong play in net. Hyder here today ends up stopping 26 of 29, and boy, did he make some highlight reel saves. Seville stops 22 of 26 with a final goal from Denemy coming on an empty netter. And the Gladiators end the season on a high note as we turn our attention to the Kelly Cup playoffs. So really only drawback for the Gladiators here today was the loss of Brett Bulmer back in the second period. Went down with an apparent lower body injury. Did not return. Did not leave the ice under his own power, which is usually not a good sight, but we don't want to speculate. Hopefully he'll be back for Game 1 on Friday after some recovery this week as the Gladiators head to North Charleston to take on the Stingrays. It's been a fun regular season. I'd like to thank the Swamp Rabbits for their hospitality this year. We've been here plenty of times. We've seen this scene plenty of times, and each time it's been a treat for Mark Bonetti and the Swamp Rabbits. We'd like to thank them for their hospitality this season. While we got you, we'd like to thank you for watching all regular season long. It's been an absolute treat to have everybody in the YouTube live chat, everybody at Gas South Arena as well, for the players, the coaching staff, and the front office here within the Atlanta Gladiators organization. Thank you for making this regular season such a special season. And the best part about it is it's not done yet. So if you don't know the word, here it is. One last thought before we go. The Gladiators are playoff bound. Here is the playoff schedule. Game 1 on Friday night at North Charleston Coliseum. 7:05 puck drop, 6:45 pregame show. You can catch all the action right here on the Gladiators Broadcast Network on Flow Hockey and YouTube. Game number 1 on Friday night. Game number 2 the next night on Saturday. 6:05 start time there. They do those 6 o'clock starts on Saturdays in South Carolina, so that game will be an hour earlier. 5:45 pregame show, 6:05 puck drop, and then Monday, Tuesday, the scene shifts to Duluth. It'll be the first playoff games at Gas South Arena in 8 years. We need to pack this building. We need to give these boys some love. They have earned it. Make that building rowdy. Tell your mom, tell your pa. If you haven't already got your tickets, click that link in the Gladiators YouTube live chat or go to atlantagladiators.com. Get your tickets. I know it's a school night. I know it's a weeknight. Who cares? This is a once-in-a-lifetime moment. Get on out to Gas South Arena for games 3 and 4. And then, if necessary, games 5, 6, and 7 are on the 1st, 4th, and 5th, respectively, with game number 6, if necessary, back at Gas South Arena on Monday, May 4th. And so that is the slate for the Kelly Cup playoffs, round number 1. Gladiators and the Stingrays. Make sure you follow us on our social media platforms on Instagram, Facebook, X, and, of course, right in our YouTube channel as well. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and hang tight with us for the postseason as the Gladiators are playoff bound. Once again, your final score here today in Greenville. The Gladiators end the regular season with a win. Final score, Atlanta 5, Greenville 3. Thank you for watching this presentation of the ECHL. I'm Guy Chiarenza saying good afternoon and so long, and we'll see you for Game 1 of the Kelly Cup playoffs on Friday night in North Charleston.